I start recording.
But of course.
So, you amble back to the city, and after leaving Sylvie, you kind of walk back separately. You stay at the grave just a little longer. And
I
Sylvie eventually peters out of sight. What were you saying?
I had one final thing I would have said to Sylvie.
Oh, yeah?
I only thought about it as I was going to sleep.
Uh-huh.
Patisse in Patisse protocols wrote letters to everyone. There was it was P dash and then the first letter of their first name. So to each of them there was an I, there was a T, and then there was of course an S for Sylvie. And in Sylvie's case, one of the things mentioned within the letter was that Calanthum has so few people who hold on to that last shred of joy and last shred of love that's left in Calanthum. And it was encouragement that after his death, not to take it too hard and to continue in that joy. Because there's so few people left that have it. That unyielding positivity. So
She smiles. She thanks you for everything. And she walks away. You kind of get lost in thought at the gravesite. And after a while, you start walking toward the city. And as you start walking, the rain just stops. Which is weird.
yeah. Patisse thinks for a second that maybe it's a sign that maybe things are going to go well, or maybe it's a sign that maybe Mios is watching them, but then he thinks that something happened. It couldn't be because of them. It's got to be something else happened. Something not within his purview.
So, after a while, you make it back to the city. I'd give it like 30 minutes of just... You're in no particular rush. I mean, you just had a very emotional conversation with Sylvie, and it's still kind of in that my headspace. You get up to the gates of the city, just where the Ravens were marching out of, and the guard stops you and says, "Do you have any pass? Do you have a pass?" He lets you through. What does Patisse do? The city? Let me describe the city really quickly. The city is alive again. Actually, like, people are not drenched in rain. People are cleaning up shop, getting ready to sell things. First sunshine they've seen in days. What does Patisse do?
I think, well, go to the bank where they left Josephine.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, get to the guard, show him the stuff, take a few steps, and go.
Wait.
Right. And walk back,
Okay.
to do his best to help her. Is she awake at all yet?
You see her crouched holding herself in the mud, just shivering.
Howdy. Do you want to get back to the inn?
Where's Insidia?
Let's get back to the inn first.
Okay.
There's a lot to talk about.
Okay. Okay.
And he'll take off his starred cloak, probably for the last time.
Oh.
And you know, it's It's not big, but it's enough to feel almost like a jacket to
Okay.
her.
Thank you. She
Yeah.
gets up and walks with you. Where's
Uh,
everybody? What happened?
Um, the the clockwork finally made a move.
Really?
We'd been doing a lot of work, meddling in a lot of plans. They took action against us for once. Um, we should get to the room before I explain any further.
Okay. Okay.
A lot happened.
After a while, you see her kind of stop holding herself. She's kind of gained back her confidence a little bit. Her head is a little higher. Kind of walking toward the bouncing bunny, to which you eventually make it, not that far from the city gate.
As her head gets higher, Petise's gets lower.
Yeah.
He's crushed. Because I think me and Sylvie, Katie talked about it during the session, but I think Petise will take over charge of cleanup and everything that's going to take place after. Just let Sylvie go home with her family.
Right.
And he's going to talk to Josephine and get things cleared up with Astra Verdan. Whatever else goes on.
You make it back to the bouncing bunny, and it's business as usual. On the way there, she's like, "You know what? I think I might get myself a big breakfast. I think I've deserved it.
Yeah,
Would you want anything?"
I'm not hungry right now. I still got the adrenaline and everything going through the system.
Suit yourself. And she
Yeah.
kind of walks over. She says, "Let me get changed first."
Yeah.
She goes into the room, probably without you.
He hears that and just,
Yeah.
walks downstairs and goes ahead and gets a table.
She comes out, hair combed or brushed, in a nice little sundress. It's blue. She says she walks over and sits down at the table. So, it's time for you to tell me things, huh?
Yeah. First I want to ask you, do you know how you got to the bank? What's the last thing you remember before that?
Last thing I remember was I was sitting in our room reading a book, and that's it. Tusk Love. Just kidding.
Oh.
No.
He just goes,
Nope.
Okay.
Very great book. Very wonderful romance book.
yes. Very descriptive,
Yes.
I've heard, too.
Very descriptive.
Well detailed.
Ah,
The author
yes.
did his research.
Oh my. Oh my. Oh no.
Or her. Or they.
Or they. Yeah. She waves over the waiter and orders her food.
Alright. Petise asks just for a water.
Okay.
Well, we thought it was, we were tasked with finding the clockwork.
Right? I'm a little foggy. It's been a while. We were tasked with finding the clockwork and
Yeah.
rooting them out within the city, right?
Yeah.
To be able to, and then return to Astra Verdan and notify her about whatever we might find. Was it actually our objective to do things in there?
Not really.
Just find them and leave?
Yeah. But you guys got dragged down in there and
Yeah.
had to escape.
I remember the getting dragged part
Yeah.
a little too much, so. Yeah. They were also a little overachievers. We did sit down and say a bit too much.
Yeah.
We were tasked with finding the clockwork within, the city. I'm not going to reveal too much information because I don't know it's hazardous for you to know. But we did find them, and while we were in there, they, there was this one that, effectively gathered all the patrons within the bar together and brought us down, a few thousand feet, I think, or 1,000 feet. We were close to the Underdark.
Wow.
Yeah. We got to see, a little bit of it, once we were down there.
Must have been
But,
beautiful.
it was otherworldly. A lot of bioluminescence, I suppose. That's how their society functions. But once we were in there, we had to deal with some opponents. We were being attacked, and we just needed a way out. Over the course of it, we discovered some mines, some stockpiles, generally enough evidence to incriminate them upon our escape. And as we were leaving, we found, well, as we were beginning to approach a different room, still looking for our escape, an individual known as the Queen of Glass appeared to us. She's supposedly the head of the clockwork and threatened to have the Bright Moons and you hung from a wall.
Wow.
Oh gosh, my voice.
Hung from a wall. As you can tell, they weren't successful.
Good.
Yeah. For our meddling. And to prove it, she threw Sylvie's father down to us as proof that they could get to us. Later, we would discover Sylvie's parents and family on the wall, and we promptly dealt with the issue. So there's no worries in that department.
Good. Good.
Yeah, Sylvie actually has left. This is where it gets a little.
How far through her food is she?
Oh, she's just begun.
Oh,
Well, after finding her father,
he's kind of going into like additional detail now. Just trying to buy time.
She's listening intentionally. Yeah.
Yeah, he's trying to buy time enough to where he can tell her, but her not be in public.
Yeah.
He figures this is more of a private matter.
so after we found Sylvie's father, he guided us in the direction of how to leave. We found a few kobolds on the way out, and apprehended them. We followed one of their various tunnels, disabled a trap, and ultimately didn't find a way out. We would later discover that our exit was actually through a portal. We tried a few more rooms. Again, more incriminating evidence. Even a path to the Underdark, like I said. They have a mermaid down there, which doesn't sound,
Give me a second.
Yeah.
I had to clear my throat and get the voice right. Again.
You're good.
They had a mermaid down there, and she showed us a path to the Underdark, which again, incriminating evidence. Keeping a humanoid captive. There was also a boat that could lead us further into the Underdark. We left back through that way we came, but we ended up having to sleep in the Underdark for the night.
She finished.
Had some weird.
Yeah. Perfect.
We had some weird dreams.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, some. I think they're just strange. The only kind of. I think it was just where we were.
Hmm.
Um, Sylvie's father didn't fully seem to understand it, so I think we all had maybe different experiences, but I think it's just the nature of the Underdark. It's a strange place. Brings strange imagery to mind.
I can only imagine.
Yeah. It's a sight to behold, though. Don't get me wrong. I just wouldn't want to sleep there very often.
Noted.
And then we, yeah. Then we, left.
Has the waiter, have we paid for the food yet?
Yeah, she paid for
Petite.
it when yeah.
Okay. Petite was going to if she didn't. He just kind of gets up.
We should probably. It's safer.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
She gets up from the
and-
chair and walks over to the room.
Yeah. When he gets to the room, an initial glance, he just wants to look, because I left a few things in there, which I'm betting you remembered.
Okay.
A few books.
Yep.
Are they there? On initial glance? I knew it. I knew those were gonna go missing. He doesn't nod, he doesn't show anything, he just glances to the probably the corner where he left them, and then glances at Thry's desk real quick, and then...
Totally cleaned off. In fact, it looks
Yeah.
like the place was thoroughly searched and cleaned.
Yeah, I figured. He figured too.
Yeah.
Well, we were, leaving. We found that, Sylvie's father was not Sylvie's father.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he was her father. It's just, they had tried to make him look like a simulacrum. It was kind of their undoing. We discovered a plot. They were trying to set up a trap through a portal for us. But because of her father and the enchantments they put on him, we discovered that, so. But as a result of figuring out that trap, we called on a being. Something more powerful than any of us. We couldn't fight it. We had no chance.
Mm-hmm.
And he had taken you hostage. And,
Are these where these marks came from? And you see just red grip marks of Gagalder
Yeah.
on her neck.
He looks up.
Yeah.
Looking at them, just because Tisei's kind of on high alert right now, but he's also looking for anything. What do the grip marks look like? They look humanoid, draconian.
Humanoid. But you can tell that his armor extends his hands just a little bit, and there's like small indents a little bit, like an inch past where the finger mark stops.
Okay.
Yeah.
So. Okay. False fingers. That tells me very little, but some.
He had you and
What's that?
made a simple offer.
Can you still hear me? If you can still hear me, I will be back in a very short second.
I'm back.
Hello?
Hi.
Hi, sorry. I'm almost back.
You know,
You left and I didn't.
it's
Yeah.
been 20 minutes. Jeez.
Yeah. It's been mostly in character though.
Yeah.
It's a bit slower, which I think makes sense.
Yeah.
Uh, I think a sad mood tends to be slow.
Oh yeah.
It's got to be.
Yeah.
You need to take your time with those things. Or you can speed by them, and then that is another thing you can write on.
Yeah.
Two directions of sadness.
Um, this individual, though, that had you, he's apt to making, deals and bargains of a sort. Mostly, though, in souls. And
My
he made
soul's
an
not been
offer.
sold off, is it?
No.
Okay,
He made
good.
us an offer. A soul for a soul.
That was not meant to be a reference.
And he made it to Insignia. And she accepted. You're here today because she made a sacrifice for you.
Really?
Yeah.
Where is she?
I believe in a collapsed cavern somewhere. A large stone fell on her body. We had no chance of recovering her. We barely made it out with you and Sylvie's father. We barely made it out. But you definitely did because of her.
Tisei looks. Tisei can't bring himself to look at her.
So my daughter's gone.
Yeah.
And her soul's not in a good place.
I don't know.
What about the rest of them?
Upon running out, we had to, save Insignia, Sylvie's parents, her family. And we scaled the castle walls to prevent the hanging. But during that time, a creature, I don't even know what to call it, it was casting spells, things we had no defense against. And, Favo, in all his bestial might, slew everything that stood on that wall and nearly killed that thing. And his final strike, he threw a javelin into its chest, but its return strike left nothing left. We buried his hammer in the woods.
Sylvie's not dead, is she?
No. See, sweet Sylvie, she and her family are going home. I hope it lasts. I'm sure it will. The Druidian have lived for a long time.
It has to.
I'm sure they'll.
It has to.
Yeah. Um,
She just begins to sob.
Yeah. Patise's been trying to hold it together, but he lets him. He can't take it after she starts crying, and he starts crying too. Crying for Insignia not being in a. Not him not knowing where she is. And for Thavo's sacrifice. For the pain they all went through. For the mermaid he knows has had to live the worst nightmare night after night. For Insignia's mother. For all of Calanthum. For the pain it suffered, and for the pain it seems to not be able to escape. And for what he's done.
After about 3 minutes. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
Yeah, I was just gonna say something for when he was done, but
After
he
about.
just.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. He'll do his hand at best. I don't know what like a comforting action is. Taking her hands and just holding them firmly, I guess. Do the best he can for his size.
Yeah. You hear, after about 3 minutes, you hear a kind of a on the door. Hello? Is anybody in there?
Who is it?
Astra Verdan.
Astra Verdan. Tise, he forces the tears out of his eyes and walks over, and he's looking down at the floor.
hi.
Hey, gloomy one. Why are you so sad? It's such a nice day out. I've been looking for you guys for days, actually. Did everything go well with the clockwork?
We found them.
Really?
There's enough evidence down within their minds to incriminate them, get them pushed out.
Uh-huh.
Let me look through my notes. Because I wrote down what this inn was called.
The Bleak and Honest.
Bleak and Honest.
They're,
Dang, that bothers me. I know I wrote it down. I knew I wrote down Bleak and Honest's name, and whoever that dude was sitting there, if we knew his name, the one who down through the thing.
I don't know. I forgot his name. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, it's fine.
we found them. They're there, the Bleak and Honest. They're all gone.
The party? The short stacks?
Yeah,
They all.
Insignia was killed. Thava was killed. And,
Making a judgment call here. Would Sylvie be incriminated if found abandoning the Ravens?
This is if you were to tell anybody in the Ravens, this would be her.
If this would be the person to tell it to?
Yeah.
I don't think it's a good idea to tell you this.
He steps back and seems to let her. He opens the door a little more and lets her all the way in.
Okay. She takes
Oh.
a couple steps in.
Then closes it, locks the door.
The only ones who made it out were
He gestures to Josephine.
Josephine, Sylvie's family was nearly hung. Most were hurt or nearly killed.
Yeah, I heard about that little conflict on the walls. I didn't know that was you guys, though.
That was us. And Sylvie survived, but there's nothing left here for her. I'm the only one left. And,
This is where the idea of Thirkominaki begins to form.
I want to do good, but I don't know if the Ravens is for me.
You and me both.
Yeah.
Sorry, let me just take this in for a moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. I assume Josephine's sitting on the bed.
Yeah.
He kind of goes over, pulls out a desk chair and brings it over towards the bed and just sits down on it.
Astra Verdan says, nothing left, huh? I was recently promoted to general.
Remember, that, congrats.
No. Not a happy occasion.
You seem a bit young for it.
Yeah. That's what I thought. But I'm beginning to sniff around, and what I'm finding is not something I want to support.
He glances at Josephine. I'm gonna roll this because, statistically speaking, I need to, but
Okay.
D6. I rolled a 4. It doesn't. Psionic die doesn't go down, but he makes a link with her, begins talking in her mind.
Talk in your head. Josephine's had a hard day, and this information is sensitive.
Okay. She sits down on the ground and back against the wall. Her pink hair is just kind of everywhere.
Forgot she had pink hair.
Yeah.
Because elves get naturally wild hair, right?
Yeah.
Is it neon pink?
Rose gold.
Rose gold. Okay. I was about to say, is she hiding that she's in Sinde?
What's it that, you're unsure of?
I did some digging. Laurelyn isn't who she says she is. Surprise, I know.
Do you know the extent of it?
Oh, it goes deep. It goes deep. But I have no. I can't go that far. I can't do that myself, or else people will start noticing, and then my position is moot, and then just I'd probably be killed. So.
You don't even have to think the thought. I know how deep it goes.
Oh yeah.
We discovered things down there in the clockwork, in that dungeon of theirs.
You did?
I walked through a portal. This information leaves neither of our heads. I'm telling you, if anyone knows about this, even the person you trust the most in your life, it could get you killed.
Okay.
In seconds. I watched a congregation between the Queen of Glass, Gagalder, Ronan, Thurai, and Laurelyn.
Really?
The only word I heard before I left that meeting, as I was seen, even while invisible, The only word I got was hurry, hurry.
Huh. That makes so much sense. Real question,
Yeah.
though, is why was the Gala there?
They could have contracted him. That's how he works.
Yeah.
We even had to make a deal with him. That's why Insinia's not here.
And Josephine knows this.
I told her. I didn't tell her about that meeting. I didn't tell her about a lot of nuanced details. I figure if she knows that a being made a deal, and that's why she's here, and her daughter's not, that's all she needs. That's all I'm willing to give.
I think we do something off the books here. Do you still have any fight left in you? I pray you do.
He kind of glances and he looks at his knuckles, hands still shaking. Then just grabs his arm, like I am right now.
I think that Petite Seventar shouldn't exist anymore. If you catch what I'm saying.
Drop yourself off the map?
I can still operate, I think. It's gonna... I have only one person I think I know I can trust. Oh. But, it's not even going to be dropping myself off the map wholly. I figure a kobold won't be seen well, and if the rest of my party is unknown, then... Perhaps Petite died in the Clockwork Dungeon.
That may be the smartest thing. Do you need any help in that?
Yes. But I don't want your help. Don't take that as a mean thing.
No, I understand.
But for your safety and for mine, neither of us should be seen near each other from this point on. I died.
I came here to comfort Josephine. Yeah. I'll use that.
Perfect.
So
Is there a way that Sylvie could have been relieved from duty? Maybe that's the story.
Yeah.
The halfling made it out, notified you, and was released.
Yeah. I'll keep her identity secret.
Thank you. And I'm sure she thanks you too.
I'm sure gonna miss that little halfling.
Yeah. I'm gonna miss a lot of them. But, her unyielding good, her kindness, or positivity, whatever you call it, it's a rarity in Calantham.
Absolutely.
Even in the ironically named Paratisi.
Yeah. That's actually my region of birth, so. Yeah. I really wish you the best.
Thank you. And, we'll see each other again. You just won't see Petite ever again. Hopefully no one will.
Okay. She opens the door.
Yeah. Petite walks out, throws his hood up, takes a step out the door.
Well, Josephine, I hope you get better. Tough times. She closes the door.
Yeah.
Just stands there.
Petite was thinking about saying something, but if that's the last time he's seen, that's probably for the better.
Yeah.
Josephine probably won't say anything. The first thing he does is walks out into the back alley and folds up his cloak and places it into the pack and removes his wraps, all of them, and looks for a brown cloak. Something that no one will look at with deep thought. Nothing that stands out anymore.
Roll me an investigation check.
Ooh. You fool. This is what I made my character for. Not really. That's an intelligence skill. Did you know Petise is a wisdom character?
Nope.
That's
I thought he was
his...
intelligence.
Nope. He is above, he's smarter than the average kobold because he's part of the Astrum, so he has an 11 in intelligence because of the tribal benefit. But Petise can see the soul of someone. His perception, his PP, and his...
Dude, he's big!
Yeah, he has 18 passive perception and 18 passive insight.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, I did spec into investigation a little bit. So I can add a psychic die to it. It's +3. 5 plus 3 plus 6 is 14.
Yeah, 14. In the garbage of the bouncing bunny, you find a brown cloak, just probably for a halfling. Crumpled up and covered in leftovers, basically.
Perfect. It's exactly what he was looking for.
Okay, wonderful.
He dons that and goes to work. Or Alistair, as it were.
You make your way into the heart of the city, where the Library of Lord Erethem and Lesser Intellectuals stand.
Knowing what this thing looks like, by the way, now, holy crap!
Yeah.
That's a big building.
Yeah, it is.
And it's tall too. That's like the tallest thing in Clivis.
Yep.
One of.
One of them, yeah. You rush up the stairs. Well, I don't know what you do. You just walk up the stairs.
He's probably ambling,
Yeah.
selling that he's just not someone you want to mess with or talk to.
The guards see you coming. It's like, alright. You again?
Yeah, they probably know, but...
Yeah. They open the door and let me casually do something here real quickly.
Let me casually whip out of the library my Alistair voice. Hello. It is I, Alistair, guardian of the library. Of some douche and a bunch of cooler people.
So...
I'm setting your... I did the Discord pop-out thing. Setting... So I have my spleen splits. And I've got you pulled up on the right side right now.
Alright.
Since I don't have as fancy monitors as you do.
You see... I almost said Lord Erethem right there. Jeez.
Erethem!
Alistair. Erethem! Okay. You
say freaks out and dies instantly. For both being a fanboy and also horrified.
Yeah.
Equal parts.
You see Alistair way up there in like the absolute tippy top of the library, just
Holy heck.
reading.
Is he actually reading?
Yeah.
Yo, Alistair's getting to read for once.
I
I'm gonna go
know.
interrupt him. Hmm. Do I have to be guided anywhere, or do I get?
You see a couple of the other kind of caretakers look at you, kind of give you a nod. You're free to go around if you want.
Okay. I am going to the Bloodfall, and
Okay.
I am going to bookmark the page with the Minakawa.
Okay.
I've thought about this interaction long
Okay.
enough that I'm gonna pull out that book, and I'm gonna start the climb.
Okay. You spiral up and
yeah.
up and up
I
and
don't think he's ever been this high before.
up.
He's never been at like the tippy top.
No. You see.
What is it? 40 stories? You said?
Yeah.
It's 40 stories, and then the Arbiter.
Yeah.
Am I right?
The golden.
The Grand Arbiter.
Yeah.
Golden Arbiter sits at the top in a glass office,
Yeah. Yeah.
which I think is freaking amazing.
So he's like near that.
Dang.
And you see he's checking out sections in
Alistair over here simping for science.
simping for science. No, he's actually looking into the Cobalt race. This is
Oh.
Cobalt
Oh,
section.
the irony.
Yeah. He's flipping through and he's like, huh.
Tisei walks up when he hears a huh and goes,
Huh. Huh. Oh, hey! Okay, he doesn't do that. That was so uncharacteristic of him. Oh, hey!
Alistair goes, yo,
Yeah,
what's up?
what's good?
Tisei's like, what's poppin'?
What's poppin', D? What's poppin'?
How we do? How's it been hanging? I'm gonna shut up now. I've done it! I'm the first person to have won. I actually killed the DM.
Oh goodness. He looks down. He's like, "Oh hey, Petite. You've caught me in the act, I suppose."
That's. Yes, I suppose so.
He closes the book and kind of puts
Is he-
it back into the bookshelf. I was just reading up on the Ruffle Truffles.
The ruffled. Oh, the cowboys.
Yes, there
The
you go.
cow bolds.
Cowbolds!
Yeah,
Yeah, the cowbolds.
the cow.
Petite, like, he legit mulls it over for a minute.
If you translate it, I guess it's like cow worms, spelled W-Y-R-M.
Cowworms.
Yeah, because younger kobolds are worms, like how a dragon is titled.
Ah, of course.
Yeah,
That doesn't sound great though. Cowworms is.
yeah, that sounds like heart disease.
It does actually. It does. It does. What?
Tisei's been doing some biology reading.
Yeah,
You know,
he kind of.
the bovine race.
You're right. He kind of does.
Do you all not have to chaperone me anymore?
Oh no. I've told them about you. You're fine.
Wait a minute, I gotta find a big. Is this like a big book or like
Oh,
a
yeah,
pequeño?
It's like a.
This is the book I'm carrying is a big book.
Yeah, big book.
Let me go pull out the Action Bible.
Oh boy, the Action Bible.
Okay, we got either the Action Bible or the Vault Dweller's Guide to Fallout 4.
Oh man, do the
I'll go with that.
Action Bible.
I'm going. This one's bigger.
Okay.
Like when we talking. This one, it's styled right and it's huge. Look at this, Hector.
Oh, that is cool. Dang.
It's got cool stuff in it too. But yeah. My prop. I have props now.
Props.
Prop. Ooh.
Oh boy. Chucks it at the wall.
Well, I think that's nice. Thank you.
Yeah.
Can we sit down?
Absolutely. He looks around.
There's tables, but they're on 3 stories below
Yeah,
us.
basically. How about we
That
just...
awkward walk where you're like in silence, like you want to say something, but you're like, we should probably sit down before we
Yeah,
start
yeah,
talking.
exactly. So you do the...
Batiste just opens up the book,
Mhm.
and I'm going to open up your doc right now.
Okay.
This is how I've thought about this interaction. Where's Calanthum?
Well, I found
I
it.
find my thesis notes, but like, I can't even find your doc, Jamie.
Oh, somebody's
the
on
most
my
used-
dock. Somebody's on my dock. I thought that was
Somebody
you.
else. Oh, that's not even me.
Bro,
I know what I'm looking for. It's just
There we go.
the Fornagel. What page is it?
It is on page 42.
42.
Yeesh.
42. Where is it? It's Bloodfall, right?
Now there's 3 people on my dock.
There's more. There's another.
There's another. What are we all doing?
Ironheart. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, I know. But what else? What else is big? What else? I don't know.
Where does it talk about the 24?
The servants of the. Oh, you want to go to the 24?
Yeah.
That's the Iron. No.
It's above it.
Where is this thing? Oh, here we go. Alice, it's on page.
They were all promoted
40.
to true servants of the Unanur,
Yeah.
and were sought by Mio. Sought by Mios. She pulled them to her, and they were never seen again. So Patisse. Let me just. There's a lot. There's like other things in this book.
Wow.
So they're like, it's like falling out.
Okay.
I'm gonna tilt this down. No. Yeah, I've got to tilt this down so that way you can see the book and me. And Patisse just kind of pulls it out. He skims and he finds the section, and then he starts reading aloud.
At the site of the ambush, 24 riders survived, along with their mortally wounded Alistair. They were all promoted to true servants of the Unanor, and they were sought by Mios. She pulled them to her, and they were never seen again.
He looks up into Alistair's eyes, and then he flips a few pages.
On the 1-year anniversary of the Battle of Devil's Den came the emergence of a special unit under the direct influence of Mios. They were deemed the servants of the Unanor. Though in a few pages back they were called true servants of the Unanor, so it's a little inconsistent. But they were deemed servants of the Unanor. They were made up of 24 souls. They could take any form they wanted, yet their resting form would be in the form of a giant Minakawa.
And he looks back up again and shuts the book.
I have had a great many things happen to me recently.
What above? I'm gonna set this. Let me set this back before I
Okay.
finish talking, because I don't want to have to deal with this the rest of the night.
I've had a great many things happen to me as of recent, Alistair. And I've done a lot of thinking. And, of course, you're one of the people I've gotten close to as of recent. One of the few. And, I think you already see where I've gone with it. I want to ask you, though, how do you hide for so many hundreds of years? How do you make your old self disappear?
Well. He kind of hesitates
I can imagine that makes a lot of sense. This is probably his best kept secret for
Yeah. Yeah.
few 100 years, I'd put it.
You know, if it was anybody else, I would be a little worried. But for you, for some reason, I'm more happy you found out rather than angry or worried.
Yeah.
It's only, something that I've kept secret for over 500 years, and
Yeah, just a little bit of time.
just a little bit.
Well, let me start by saying that hiding something the size of an island has got to be a monumental task. First off, and also, trust me, I know what it's. I don't know what it's like hiding something of that magnitude for 500 years, but I know what it means to keep something secret. It's safety. There's rationale in it. I have no intent of talking to a town crier and making it common knowledge.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Kind of scoots the book over because he puts his hands down on the desk with his knuckles that still haven't even scabbed over.
Do you need
I,
you need somebody to heal that?
not yet.
Okay.
As you can tell, something has clearly happened. And I wanted to bring this to you. To not hide that knowledge from you.
Okay.
But to also ask you if you could help me.
Anything.
I am dead. And so is most of the party, most of my friends.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. And I'm looking to have a presence without being present. If you understand, I think.
I do.
Yeah. By the way, just why'd you stick with the name Alistair? Like, the gods that remain on the plane are also called Alistairs of knowledge.
Yes.
Your name is literally in the history box.
Yes.
Is it just most people wouldn't assume a librarian is one of the greatest heroes of the war.
Sometimes the best place to hide is in plain sight.
Okay, Superman. I've been saving that one. I gotta shake that one out. Oh. I'm gonna put on some glasses.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm shooting for. I have some ideas in my head.
What were some of them?
Well, I have not written up any designs yet, but after the experience with the clockwork eye, ironically, I've been a little inspired. Despite them having effectively taken everything from me, they're still geniuses of machinery. And clockwork, as it were.
Are you perhaps in pursuit of a metal cage?
That's oddly specific, but yes. I'm looking to make I think the term would be an exoskeleton of
Yes,
sorts.
Yes. Yes. I've been making something. Would you like to see it?
Yeah.
Just make sure nobody's looking. Give me your hand.
He reaches out, his hand still shaking a lot.
The second you touch the hand, you're teleported.
We left the book on the desk.
Ah, that's fine. You
500 years. Come on, man. You've had practice.
I'm kidding.
you teleported to a location not too far from the library, but beneath its shadow, in its shadow.
Lord Eretham's workshop, and also the workshop of lesser intellectuals.
You can tell that you're a little underground in like a basement of sorts. And he says, literally, I mean, literally, this is where we've kept a lot of what Erethem and other intellectuals have created. You see dangling structures of just brilliant engineering. You see ships. You see just
As he starts looking around, Batiste almost looks like he's panicking, and then he remembers something. And he had begun copying the Warforged book, and he pulls out like the first chapter.
Wow.
I think that clockwork got the rest. I was hiding a book. I didn't trust Laurel, to be frank.
That can get you in a lot of trouble, the young one.
I'm already in a lot of trouble.
Yes.
I also don't know how much I can trust you, but I figure I'd pull a secret out on you. Maybe you keep a couple for me.
No, absolutely.
He just hands it over.
It's not much, but it's an introduction.
Right. Do you know, we've sent a couple monks down to that ship that you guys came across.
Yeah.
Very fascinating, wasn't it?
Seemed a little dumb.
Fascinating nonetheless. But I understand its flaws.
Of course it was it was designed to go to space, wasn't it?
In
Beyond
some
the
documentation, yes.
But why'd he make it that he couldn't pilot it?
That's a strange one. That puzzles me as well. My first guess was Mel, but Mel was dead.
And also not a caster.
And also
if
not a
I
caster.
remember the history correctly.
So
there's got to be someone else.
maybe his allegiances did lie with the Oracle and it was built for the Oracle. Maybe not. I don't know. There's a lot of possibilities, but that's neither here nor there.
True.
I have been working on something. And he kind of this is the first time you've ever seen him like animated.
Yeah.
I guess.
I imagine it's kind of tough to get him excited about things.
Yeah, and he's like, I've been working on something, right? He pulls out this like. I'll send you a picture.
Have you seen what a car engine gets lifted up on? Because ironically, Fallout 4, that's what you put your power armor on.
Really?
Yeah.
He pulls out
Use it.
something like this. I'm gonna send this to you in DMs.
There's so many people on the Calanthum dock.
He sends you something like that. Oh, no.
Oh.
He pulls out something like this.
I've seen that image before.
Yeah, you've probably seen the movie where it's from.
Oh, wait a minute. That's the one with that kid and
Yep, Hugo.
Hugo. Yeah.
He pulls out something like that and he's like, is this something that you've been thinking of?
Yeah, sort of.
He kind of walks up a little closer and looks into it. He's looking.
I assume that's wind up, right? A mechanical driver.
Yes.
Sort of. How long do we have? I could draw some blueprints. I'm just not got the tooling knowledge.
Well, I could draw some up for you if you want to. What do you want to do with it exactly?
Is there like a chalkboard or something?
Oh yeah, I presume that there's like 5 just around this workshop.
Let me get my chalk out. Petite size. Huh. Okay. Let's be a little more realistic here. Water bottle.
Okay.
And he kind of starts sketching kind of these ideas, these hand designs, and he traces his hand, which notably has 4 digits, and then another hand next to it he draws, and it has 5 digits.
Okay.
And he begins connecting the ends of the digits with wires and put some pulleys on the ends, and he shows how each linkage could work all the way down the arm. And then you see him begin adding almost like a glove, and there's all these cogs and ratios, and I haven't thought this whole thing through because I personally am not Petite.
Yeah.
But he starts showing just a plethora of things.
You see him jotting something down.
And then this is like exactly what I wanted. Just him and Alistair just, you know, that like Iron Man sequences where he's building a suit.
Yeah.
One of those kind of sequences. Then he just.
You see him open up the back of the automaton, and he's like, okay. And he just rips it out.
Oh my gosh!
And he
I'm gonna assume that was important.
And he just. Trust me, I like a messy workspace. It helps me just think. Okay.
It gets the creativity flowing.
Yes. So, try getting it.
That's horrifying, but sure.
And he steps in, and he kind of glances up at the board, and he gets in it and places his hands fully splayed out about like this.
Okay.
But like as he gets in, the horns kind of get caught on the back of the cage, and he tilts his head and kind of snakes it in a bit, and he's also looking down, so he's like this.
I think I can go without the horns.
Are you sure we can?
He like start getting his way out.
Do you have a hacksaw?
Yes, I do. He grabs one and hands it to you.
Is there a mirror or a particularly shiny piece of metal?
Yeah, the automaton's face.
He looks into the automaton. That's some symbolism.
Yeah.
He's removing his old self as he looks into his new self. He places it, and he seems almost without hesitation immediately begins carving through the horn, and it's about 2 inches from his head that he leaves.
Oh boy. You see if you glance up to Alistair, you both see like a kind of face, but also like a he's actually doing this kind of face. He's like,
Yeah. And then once he's done, he takes it and he kind of doesn't know what to do with it, and he just kind of reaches back and shoves it vaguely in his backpack and grabs the other one. Begins again. He kind of measures it out with his fingers, and once it's off,
I had an idea for mounting points.
he throws off the backpack.
That's also something else I thought we could fix. I
Okay.
imagine a quick release with a latch is not very hard to make.
Oh, I have one. Look at this. Look. And he has a little book satchel. And then all he does is just click the button. It goes and just falls onto the floor.
That's like perfect. I also wanted to get a larger backpack so that way it's human-sized, elf-sized, humanoid-sized,
Okay.
normal-sized. You know, I'm a bit not tall.
He kind of. I'll be right back.
All right.
And he starts rummaging through, and you can hear like metal clanking. Ting, ting. And he comes back with his work, and he holds up a smallish backpack for a human, but it's doable.
Kazise looks up at it.
I can't carry all that much with me anyway, so that's perfect.
Wonderful. Now.
Oh, but mounting points.
Yes.
He points at his horns, and he shows that he left some.
You could drill a hole through and another hole about a quarter of an inch below that one, and use them as a cross. It would give you a uniform mounting point.
Right.
For, I assume, a head manipulation, but it would have to be offset.
He kind of looks up into the head thing, and you hear. And he just tosses that back.
Patisse kind of like glances over, like he looks a little concerned and interested at the same time as to. This has been the best ending to a day where his friends could have died.
Yeah, like really.
He's getting to have a buddy moment with Alistair, like a real one. Yeah.
One moment. He kind of goes, and then he grabs he grabs another head, and he goes. That might be a little more space here, and it has some connection points up top.
Oh, that's perfect.
Try
This
it
is
out
something.
first. Try it out first.
Okay. He gets in. He places his hands, just trying to get used to it. Fully splayed, so that way it's sized correctly for when he's locked in.
Right.
At what would be a neutral point. This right here is T-posing.
Okay.
Effectively. He gets in, and the horns don't clink at this time. And his head doesn't sit in it.
Yeah.
It sits, I think, like maybe half a foot below head height,
Right, you're right.
which is the intent. It's all get translated up.
Alright, now just tilt your head back a bit so I can see your horns.
Yep.
And he just looks like a mad scientist. He rotates you on like a Lazy Susan, like what my share is. And he's
Yeah.
I don't know if this is gonna hurt or not.
I'm fairly certain that there are nerve endings that end at about the 2-inch mark, and I kind of felt what I just did.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna hurt.
He kind of just shows his hand back.
It's par for the course for today.
All right.
I don't know how far the blood vessels extend though. So
And you feel a little bit of an edge hit to the top of your horn.
You know what getting your teeth drilled feels like?
Yes.
You gotten a you've gotten a filling,
Yes.
I assume?
Yes.
We both know what a filling feels like?
Yes.
Does it feel like a feeling? A filling?
Yes.
Except it's not in the
the
mouth,
back of the head.
and they're not gonna fill it, and also the amnestics weren't applied properly. Hmm.
Does it hurt
Jesus.
yet?
Like, after he, like, there's a point where he'll notice, maybe not as much for the top, but when he drills the lower one, he definitely hits something, and Petise kind of, like, twitches a bit.
Oh, hold still, hold still.
it's fine. Sorry.
And he holds, like, one side of your face like that, very gently.
He actually asks,
Do you have like something like a piece of wood I could bite down on?
Of course. And he gives you a wooden wrench. Not not a wrench, but like a screwdriver.
yeah, he bites down on the thing, and by the end of this, he's gonna, there's gonna be teeth marks.
And he does it with the other side. Alright, other side time.
He takes a moment and rests on the top one, and then when he gets to the bottom one,
Yeah. One moment. He puts down his stuff and then he's like, "Whoa!"
Hmm.
That was a Jamie moment. I almost died. Okay. But he gets a little bolt and he's like, he kind of slides it in.
That's a weird feeling.
Maybe a bigger one. I mean,
oh gosh, they have to. He might have to thread Petise's horns.
yeah. And he kind of just, he kind of has to push it in a little bit. I think that works.
Petise kind of reaches up, touches it, then grabs it and kind of shakes his head a bit.
If you have a bolt, you know, the nut for the other side, I think that'll fit perfectly. It'll hold too.
He grabs one and he puts it on.
We should. I imagine this is like a.
Kind of pauses for a second.
You know, it's not possible for kobolds to get piercings. Most of the time, I imagine this is what one of those feels like.
Oh, probably. I've never had one myself.
That makes sense. I imagine it's probably not something that would stick.
No. And then you feel another one just go.
That's.
Petise kind of has like a chill goes up his spine.
I'm not gonna get used to that for a while.
And he puts the other bolt on. You, my friend. Oh, it's just beautiful. And then he slides your head back in, and it just kind of just fits. It's a tight fit. It's slightly uncomfortable. And
Kobolds are used to cold,
Yeah.
dark places, tight squeezes.
and it's just, but it fits and it works. And he's like, how's that, my friend?
That works pretty well.
He kind of reaches up, like through the head, into the head, and feels around for like the eye holes or like the face plate. As I get a little lower, and then he kind of tilts his head down, places his hand in them, and kind of just tries to move them simultaneously.
I love it.
I think that gearing that up will be easy, but
Oh yes.
an array of reflectors, we might have to make a. For the eyes, might have to be a little.
Oh, I have one of
Different.
those. Just 1 second.
Why do you have so many things?
This is technically they're not
Wait,
mine.
what?
They're not mine. But
That's. Do you need pay?
do I? No. This is all for free. Trust
Okay.
me. Me doing this is pay. Trust me.
Oh,
He kind of
my, Am I the best test subject you've ever had or the worst?
Oh, the best one ever.
He kind of tries climbing out of the thing real quick,
I had a thought or two.
Yeah.
and he goes back to the board and starts, sketching the vague shape of a mask, and then, I counted it in my head. There's 7 holes, and they're in a honeycomb shape. You know what that looks like, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. And he draws those, and then over the eyes, he takes one piece of chalk in one color, and then another piece of chalk in another color. And I didn't put this in the doc, but it's something I thought of afterward.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the side of the mask, he puts a knob almost, and then he shows an inside view of the mask, where there is panes of glass over the eyes, and then connected to the knob that curves inside the mask. If the knob is twisted, it would sit down a pair of sunglasses
Okay.
to
Yeah.
overcome sunlight sensitivity,
Okay.
because that's an issue he still hasn't been able to deal with.
Yeah. Less translucent glass. I mean, I know they use them in churches, but
Yeah, I have a bit
I
of
really
stained-
can't see in the light at all.
I have a bit of tinted glass. Is that what you're looking for?
Possibly.
Okay.
How dark? Oh, obsidian. Chips of obsidian would be dark enough.
Oh.
Obsidian glass.
Right. He. There they are. And he comes back and he has, those binoculars that you put like right here. They were used in the trenches to see over the trench.
Yeah.
And they go up like that. That's what
Yeah.
that's basically what he hands you. He's like, does those work?
He kind of looks at them.
How necessary are these? If I were to do something right now, who would get upset?
They haven't been touched for years.
He grabs the flat part, the long part, and he grabs the goggles where you put them to his eyes, and he disconnects it forcibly. And he does the top too. And is there some basic a sheet, a thing of metal, a screw, and a piece of another flat of metal, so he could connect them all again?
Yes, yes.
He does that, and he starts drilling and connecting it, and then he holds it up, and he looks down and tilts the bottom one, the top and the bottom one.
You've got to be able to translate the movement for when I look down and up, and turn left and right. Within the neck. I was thinking an array of reflectors, possibly, but this the most accurate I could get it. I'm trying to sell that it's a human with a mask on.
Here, let me. This is gonna feel uncomfortable, but just let me get through your horns really quickly. And he grabs a bit of cord, hemp cord, and he kind of threads them through, and then holds them back like tightly against his chest. He says, "Try looking around."
While he's got the cord around the horns,
Yeah.
Tisa kind of looks left.
And he lets you turn left. And then
And he tries to turn right.
and he lets you turn it right.
I feel like a horse.
Yeah, something like this could work. I mean, but it's initiated by the horse. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, I figured that these mounting points on the horns, these hard points, could be used to translate motion to the head
Yes.
and fit over the face. A set of goggles for the eyes and a mask with a tube connected to it for the mouth.
Of course.
Oh, right. I'm new to fluid dynamics.
That's like the only person you could ever say that to in the
This is the one person in Calantham Patisse gets to really be all of his nerdy self with, and he's going to live it for the day or so it takes them.
Okay.
And he starts showing how you could have a mask that fits over a kobold face, and then a tube that widens out as it gets longer.
As you're drawing that out, you're kind of just drawing it out, and then all I hear is "Brr," like through a
He looks
tuba.
back.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Except, like, over the mouth so I could speak.
That was a really accurate tuba noise, by the way.
I played in a brass band for so long.
That makes sense.
And he's like, right. Boom! Right on the floor. And then he just starts like he's
Like,
he can finally now unleash his full strength in front of somebody, and he's
Yeah.
just
Petise watches it, and then looks at the size of the head, and then goes back to watching Alistair be the warrior of old he is,
yeah.
and he gives it a second before saying anything, and then he kind of speaks up. He tries to flex a muscle.
My neck nor my biceps are able to bend brass like that.
It's been a long time. I'm telling you.
It's very impressive to watch you do that. I just don't think that I could on a consistent basis.
Oh.
And also,
And he kind of shows the diameter of the tuba at the end,
Yeah.
and then shows how it's like you could fit the mask within that.
I was thinking maybe length over girth.
But Tisei doesn't see anything wrong with that. He knows things about that. He's read a biology book or two, but
yeah.
kobolds have a cloaca.
Yeah. Okay. So
Does Alistair actually give him a look? Like,
yes, he does.
Tisei stares at him for a minute and goes,
Oh, right.
And he kind of just
Diameter over length over diameter, I think.
yeah, there you go. And he kind of molds it so it's able to go into the mask and
but Tisei, he just watches it for a minute, like,
I cannot believe that this is someone can do this.
this
just in his head, he's
yeah.
like, this person is metal working without the forge.
yes. And
Such is the power of Alistair's biceps.
dude, he's a lean guy, but
Yeah,
he just,
it's like a rock climber.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah.
Like, you see a rock climber, and you're like, huh.
Huh.
And then they take their finger and arc it, like their middle finger, arc it over a bar and do a one-armed pull-up, and you go, oh!
Yeah, it's basically watching a rock climber, and he's just Ugh, okay.
I'm sorry, I'm hooking up this thing, my headphones are dying.
Yeah. Get it?
Sure.
He snakes his way in again. Well, doesn't snake his way in. Horns aren't there.
Try speaking.
He kind of cups his hands over the end of it. He goes, and then through the end of it and goes,
Whoa! Wow! That is amazing.
This is unnatural. At best.
That is amazing. Truly brilliant. Okay. Stay in there.
I'm okay.
And he
He keeps his, he kind of he stops cupping his hands.
Probably need a mask or something that can be mounted and secured fully.
I have that, Arathim, you genius! And he scampers over to a location, and he brings back a gas mask. he puts it right below so you can see, and he says, "All right, this filter can go." And then
whips the filter away.
yeah, and then he hooks up. You know how it has like a little tube that goes down like this?
Yeah.
Yeah. He basically hooks that up, and you see his hand heats up, and then the metal like circle that's in the
Right.
Yeah.
He's a Minakawa.
So he heats up his hand, and it melds the wood, the metal
Petise
together.
Petise kind of like leans back in the cage
No.
in the exo.
Now put on as best as you can, being a kobold, this mask.
Oh.
He kind of. Is it made for a human or a kobold?
Human.
He kind of puts his face in, and then, and he breathes in and out, and there's a lot of gap.
Oh yeah. He takes a string and he ties it neatly around your, so
Oh.
it like tight like around your neck, so it kind of like tightly seals it.
He breathes in. Does it work?
Oh my,
Does it work?
does it work? It works, all right. It works.
Petise tries to do it works, and he puts them up, and then he knocks the arms off through the armholes.
That's fine. Don't worry. I can retest them. And he grabs them and he. Nope. One moment. And he grabs a whole lot of string, and he starts threading it, and he works up into the mask, and he starts. Okay, try turning your head just a little bit.
Petise kind of. You want me to look left, or would you like a tilt?
Look left.
Looks left.
And you hear as the metal kind of grinds a little bit, and the mask turns above you. Wonderful. Okay.
You're a genius.
You're a genius.
Thank you.
We're geniuses together. Oh.
Yes.
Okay, that was more Jamie doing that.
Are the eyes rigged up yet?
He's about to do that, so he kind of just clicks them into place.
Petise kind of looks around, but now it's like a foot above his head. He kind of like looks down. Is it rigged up for up-down look right now, or just left-right?
Yeah, it can go. Yeah.
He looks up. He leans back inside the cage and stops himself. This is unnatural.
I know.
Yes, I figured that's what the whole process will be like.
Now.
He looks right. He looks left. Then he shuffles around inside the exo and looks backward at Alistair. he waves out to the cage.
I need your hands, and he starts threading them through, and then connecting them down into the arm. And he kind of clicks the arm back into place, and he runs over and does that to your other arm as well. He clicks that back into place. Try doing that.
I assume that they cannot hyperextend.
No.
But a flexing motion. He bends the fingers. He keeps bending on. He tries to do it a little slowly too, to get used to the pressure. That's weird.
Okay, now. Sorry?
Could you put something in the hand?
Like what?
Oh, like a screwdriver, maybe.
Sure. And he gets the one that you were biting onto, and he slides it up in there.
Like slides it, like I meant on to the arm's hand.
Yeah.
The
He
Ectos.
slides it into the arm hand.
Then he just closes the fingers, and it stops his hand inside of the exo. That's weird. But there's feedback, I suppose.
Yeah. He takes it out.
Petise tries holding to it for a little,
Oh! Okay.
and then let's go. But the exo's arm just falls limp. There's nothing connecting it to the.
Uh-huh.
There's no ratios on the arms yet, I suppose.
Okay. Now it's time for you. Okay. This is gonna feel a little. I'm just gonna do it. And he lifts up the automaton, including you, and then he strings you up on a couple hooks, and so you.
Petise is hanging by his horns.
You just dangle.
You know this is.
Oh, right. And he gets he slides a stool under you. He's like, oh.
he like stands on it. Oh.
I'm
Thank
so
you.
sorry. I totally forgot about that.
It's fine.
Wow.
I stopped 3 hangings today.
Oh.
I'm glad I stopped a 4th now.
Oh, that would have been bad.
Yeah.
Now
I imagine you don't know what it's like to have your spine feel like it's about to disconnect.
Nope. Never had that, I'm afraid.
Well, if you ever grow horns and have somebody hang you from them, that's what it feels like.
Okay. Well, he goes. Say the chair front is your mask front, okay? And he goes right on next to it, and he changes to look exactly like you. And then he just falls down to the ground because as you see a quick glimpse of yourself.
Wait, like actually like Petise?
Yeah. And he just falls to the ground.
What? Right, Minakawa, gotcha.
And then he zips back into Aerothem.
Aerothem?
Alistair, and he's like,
Alistair.
I could try it out sometime. Actually, I think that'd be kind of cool.
You probably don't want the whole hanging part. It's not a pleasant experience.
Noted.
The EXO is strange, but I'd say it would be fun.
He looks around. He's like,
I want to note though, right now, that the arms of the EXO, like since there's no ratios to, I did like just say it, but they're kind of just hanging limp.
yeah.
But the fingers are just wiggling.
Yeah.
As Petise tries to get used to them. And then he thinks about it a bit.
There may have to be a more complex mechanism, but I can't splay my hands.
You know what? I think I found a much better way. One moment. And he moves over and he's like, put on this glove, please.
Okay. And he kind of reaches like under the EXO. And it kind of like it forces the arm to bend up, and the hand clenches even though he's not, as you like reaches under.
Right. And he takes off the hand and then he puts another hand on it. And he says, try moving your hand.
Is the hand so there's nothing connecting them?
No, nothing connecting them.
He's just wearing the glove.
Yeah. And the hand. So this is a mobile mage hand. Does this work?
Mobile mage hand?
Yes. It's my creation. It doesn't work like a normal mage hand.
That's very strange.
But you can feel everything that I see. Let me. He touches the glove on the robot.
Like on the back of the hand?
Yeah, and then you feel it.
Oh. That's weird.
Now everything else is going to be wired up and not like this, but your hands, this may make a little easier. I only have one, so it's only going to be one hand. I'm afraid.
That's fine. The ability to properly make one hand function would be more than enough.
Okay.
More than I could have expected. This is meant to all just be strings and gear ratios.
Yeah, this was actually a recent creation of mine. I was just wondering one day what it would be like to have a hand that's not your hand, and then it kind of just happened, you know?
I wish I could say that, as if you know. If I had a workshop like this, I don't think I would be seen less than I'm already seen.
Hey, maybe you can come down and workshop with me sometime.
I would love nothing more.
And he strings up the rest of your upper body, and it takes like an hour, honestly. And you just chat away.
Yeah. Petise probably starts talking about actually while that's going on, because you know the rigging of the gearboxes and additional pulleys and levers and all that's gonna take a while. He starts explaining for the legs. Also, yeah, I still wanted to mention, just because this is more of a detail that goes to the regular party. So hand, right?
Hand.
I'm sorry, pen just fell off my bed. Kobolds have 4 digits.
Right. Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. So the glove and even the left hand that's less dexterous. This is more of a detail just for the next party. The middle fingers always bend together.
Okay.
And simultaneously, since his middle finger has to bend.
That's a nice little touch that they're gonna have to figure out.
4-digited, you know, it was weird writing a description for you because I didn't want to say he's got 4 digits on his digitigrade limb.
Yeah.
Because I wondered how confusing that would get. But as not Eritham. Alistair.
Yeah, I have that problem.
It's starting to get to the point where I'm worried that he is Eritham.
No.
Even though I was there when I watched him get evaporated.
Yeah.
Literally. That lightning didn't leave anything.
No.
The Valkyrie, she was alive. She was left.
Yeah.
But Eritham wasn't. He, as the rigging starts working, he starts describing some additional things. Just the list of things I showed you. How, you know, he wants to mount the dagger.
Right.
Talking about how he's had this idea for a spool of spider silk, and he actually points to his bag where there's some that he's been collecting. And then finally he gets to the stilts, the jump stilts, and how he figures that his foot would make it to about, I don't know. He just explains the stilts.
Yeah. Alistair takes it in stride and just continues to work. And he says...
He doesn't get super detailed either, because he figures that Alistair knows a heck of a lot more than him. At some point he was like, he's trying to explain his details, and then Alistair pulls out something better.
Yeah, basically.
And then he does it again, and then Petise goes, right, 500 years, and he's an Alistair of knowledge. I'm gonna let him do his thing, he knows more. But he, the whole time, pays super close attention. If Alistair moves somewhere, the head rotates. He is absolutely incredibly intrigued at everything Alistair does. By the way, the goggles, the viewing port, the intention was to have the eyes actually covered by a slightly tinted glass, so it would disguise the reflection of Petise's actual draconic eyes. And then there would also be the sunshades.
Right.
To overcome that.
He eventually hooks that all up. he has to take time to construct the jump stilts.
Yeah.
And it doesn't take that long. And he gives you, like, he hooks it up to your feet, and he's like, I'm gonna unhook you now, and I'm not gonna try and stop you from falling.
Could you hand me a quarterstaff, potentially?
How about a plank of wood?
That works.
and he hands you
This
a
is
plank of wood.
something I was actually thinking about too, because dagger does a d4 damage.
Uh-huh.
If Petite can get his hands on a quarterstaff,
Right.
that might be Kominaki's weapon of choice.
You've just reminded me of this. As he's hooking up the dagger device, he says, "Now, I've wanted to give you this for a while now, but I didn't know if you were the right candidate for it or not, but I wanted to give you..." Where'd it go? And
Petite just kind of starts chuckling to himself.
He slides in a dagger. It's gilded, so it's an entirely gold dagger, and he says, "This is my personal dagger. I've carried it since the Dragon War.
Holy crap!
So do good with it. It's a +3
course.
dagger."
Holy crap! Yeah. So, an additional part to the whole exo thing is I was thinking there would be a few items Petite keeps inside the exo.
Mm-hmm.
I will add that to my inventory.
Now it's a little bit of a homebrew item. Just
Oh.
you see that the this is gonna be this is gonna be a lot to take it. Okay, this is gonna be a lot of information that I'm about to give you. Okay.
Yeah.
The blade of the dagger you see is not traditionally metal, but it's a dragon tooth.
Oh.
And
Hey. Psychic knife for Petite.
uh-huh.
I always in my head. I think I mentioned it once, but it looks like a dragon fang.
Yeah. So it's similar to that. It's basically if you look up on D&D Beyond, Dragon Tooth Dagger.
Dragon tooth dagger.
Yeah.
In homebrew?
No. Just
Okay.
just in regular.
Magic items?
Yeah.
Magic. DRAGON. Dragon tooth dagger. That kind of style?
It has those stats, but switch it to a +3 instead of a +1.
A dagger fashioned from this. It takes an extra 1d6 acid damage
Yeah.
against enemies of the Cult of the Dragon. The dagger's bonus. I can't read. The bonus to attack rolls increases to +2, and the extra acid damage increases to 2d6. Proficiency with it allows you to add the bonus
That's a little niche, but
too. Yeah.
basically you add an extra d6 of acid damage. But it's a
Heck
plus,
yeah.
It's a +3 dagger, and he kind of just slides it in. He's like, that should that kind of just suits you. I don't know.
He actually, I don't think Petite has ever really shown Alistair that he's psionic.
Nope.
He kind of holds it up, and then summons his psionic.
Oh, well,
his
that
psi
makes a
knife
lot of
right
sense,
into it.
does it? Okay.
Very odd coincidence.
Wow. Oh, okay. Wow.
Well,
Wow.
I had a +1 dagger, but this feels like a perfect opportunity to switch it out.
I suppose, yeah. And
Um,
he's like, all right, I'm dropping you. And he just goes, ding! And then
it lands and the legs flex. Batiste pops up a bit, and he falls down immediately.
Well, that was a good trial run, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And he kind of just helps you up just a little.
A quick note.
Ah, yes.
He points down to the leg joint. This just comes from my knowledge of of actual jump stilts. Most people place the so there's the bottom of the foot, and then there's a bracket that comes up about to the knee.
Yeah.
People put it too low most of the time and are really unstable. And I imagine that's the mistake they both made.
Yeah, probably.
He says like,
Boom.
maybe is it possible to move the a secondary bracket up a little?
Oh, right. And he does that. He slides him up.
You say just like lifts a leg up and then lifts the other leg up.
All right. Try. He grabs your arms and then helps you up a little bit.
Thank you. That's weird because it's his new arms.
Yeah.
If he says like this, I'm gonna start doing this now. I'm also gonna grab this.
Yeah.
He kind of.
You're learning. You're learning. This is brilliant.
I feel like a child again.
This is amazing. This is amazing. I've never seen anything like it.
Did you not see Soul when he was alive?
No, I actually didn't.
That was an assumption.
Yeah. No, but I've never seen a living creature inside something like this before. This is near revolutionary, I think.
Yeah, this is insane. He kind of like he stops leaning on it. He tries to stand up straight, a little more straight. I'm not used to standing up straight. Kind of.
We probably have to clothe you.
Right. I think, like I said, I'm dead. I died in the Clockworks dungeon.
Would you mind wearing Golden Spire uniforms?
Golden Spire?
Yeah.
I'd be honored.
Oh, okay, wonderful. He did not say, "Oh, like a gobbler." Okay.
Like as soon as a Gagalder noise gets made, Patisse just got. Yeah, he's had enough of Gagalder.
Yeah. He kind of slides it all over you, and it's like these beautiful golden robes that just kind of, and it's a little hood for you.
Do you have armor?
Armor. What kind? Studded leather.
Let me check my dock. I think it was studded leather. Let me check. I'm sorry.
No.
Yes. Yes, studded leathers. I think about all I can take.
Okay. Yes. And he grabs it and he just suits you up.
Yeah. He kind of. Patisse like tries like walking over. He's got to the point where he's not leaning on it anymore.
Yeah.
But he's certainly still a little shaky, and he's not tried to jump yet.
You see Alistair kind of walk over to you and just.
Wait a minute! I got this. No.
Now, maybe I did that a little too early, but did that hurt at all?
Yes.
There's
definitely still momentum transfer.
How about...
He kind of tries to take the pole or the plank.
He holds it sturdy for you.
Thank you.
And you see him kind of slide his hand deep inside, like this. He you can see it's not a humanoid hand. It's more like almost like a skeletal hand that just slides right by your view.
He can't see anymore.
No, and
It's completely trapped off.
Right.
He's just like he feels
you
it. And he's
hear,
like,
and then you hear like ruffling noises as he pads the inside with like a blanket of sorts.
It'll also do good to make sure that no one can hear the inside anymore.
Right. He just keeps padding it up. I'm gonna do that again. So just be prepared this time, and he just pushes you.
What? That worked.
Good, great. Do you need help getting up?
I think I. Give me a second.
You can't see me down here. He like looks like he goes to grab for his head, but the arm goes like way up.
Uh-huh.
And then Petite is like, right. I mean, doesn't he kind of he grabs the mask
Uh-huh.
as if like, you know, like if you took a hard fall and you know how you grab the front of your head.
Yeah, like ugh.
He does that, but with the mask because that's the
Uh-huh.
closest he can get to it now.
Yeah.
I've got this.
He sets the pole down. You can't. Can you see? You can't even see half of what I'm doing.
I can see what you're doing though. I can see what you're doing.
Yeah.
I'm going to get better at that.
I'm sure you will. This is amazing.
Whoa! He falls forward.
Alistair just manages to catch you, and he
Thank you.
lifts you up a little bit.
Well,
Now try
Tries to.
jumping.
You see just an emotionless mask turn to Alistair, and then the hands. You see them. He's still not used to the hands, so like the arms are going like this, like
Yeah.
wildly.
Yeah. I can
and
just
then-
have the weird image of him.
You see him go like this, and
Uh-huh.
then bring them down back to where they were, and then go.
Ah, so you're getting
then-
used to the sensitivity of this. Okay.
Right.
Wonderful.
That's just me adjusting. He hops
Uh-huh.
and he lands, and I'm gonna roll a dexterity saving throw.
Okay, yeah.
I'm also gonna copy and paste the Dragon Tooth's things
Okay, yeah.
into a +3 blade for Petite inventory. +3? No.
Now, about the dragon I killed to get this tooth, and he just speaks so casually about this. This is just like about the,
Petite doesn't even care. Not like about what he's saying.
Yeah.
He doesn't care how casual it is. He is absolutely a Alistair fanboy.
Okay.
Beyond a shadow of a doubt.
So about the dragon I killed, and he just goes on this regaling tale about, you know, how he tore it out of the like the mouth of the dead, like decapitated dragon, and yeah.
Yeah, Petite absolutely adores the story. I'm going to roll that dex save.
Yeah.
So I want to preface this with I have a save of +6.
Okay.
I rolled a total of 10.
Okay. You rolled a 4. Congratulations.
I rolled a 4. So Petite jumps and lands, and I assume the deck save is a lot higher.
Yeah.
And then he lands, and he's not used to the added height yet. And he also he didn't look down because he's used to jumping.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't look down, and it landed, and he braced for the impact more than he should have. And the knees kind of shoot up on him.
Yeah.
And then when they go down, he just topples to the right.
Alistair rushes in to save you again, and he
Thank
kind
you.
of props you up.
Yeah. It's a little strange.
I wonder if I can make one for myself.
Would that help you at all?
No, but it's cool.
That's true. I would love to see one of these, but the size of the giants.
Ooh. Oh!
And
Man.
he takes a hop again. This time he adds the motion of the arms and make sure not to brace for the impact as strongly, and he lands. And he's a little off balance and he takes a few steps, but he saves it.
You're learning.
I hope so. This is
Yeah.
meant to be used, I suppose, in combat.
I was just about to get there. And he grabs 2 quarterstaffs, and he hands you one.
Batiste looks at it and then looks at Alistair.
I think you know what we're about to do.
I think I know that if you wanted to, you could send me through the roof.
Don't worry, I'll go easy on you.
He takes a wider stance, a more combative stance.
Hey. Alright, roll initiative. Roll initiative.
Oh, heck. I am so ready to see Patisse get whooped by Alistair. Holy crap.
What?
I know Alistair beat me, I almost guarantee it, but I rolled an 18 plus my initiative modifier, so it's a 21.
Let me get my boy here.
And I'll also add a quarterstaff too. Quarterstaff.
Quarterstaff.
Quarterstaff. Yes.
Yeah.
That sounded like the sound of Alistair whooping Patisse's butt. Yeah, I know.
So
I gotta modify this dagger because it's taking up all of my inventory because it's trying to explain all of its details inside the notes.
Oh no.
So I'm going to change the name and then delete like all of the text within the notes.
Okay. Just you remember that there's an extra d6 of acid.
An extra d6, and I'm gonna add a note in like the actual notes section of yeah, there's a notes section, and I'm gonna add something in other notes, and it's just gonna be Alistair's dagger. Dagger. Okay. Well, I'm ready to get whooped. Alestor?
Sorry?
Alestor, Alistair?
Let me type it to you because it'll be easier for me to.
Alistair? Alistair. Add to dictionary. Perfect. Also add to dictionary. Flaw. Okay.
Alright.
So Patisse takes a battled stance.
I'm gonna roll to hit you now.
Oh no.
I mean that's an 18 plus 17, so
Oh my gosh, a 17.
Yeah. So he's
Wait a
like-
minute, I gotta add studded leather because that's my new AC.
Right.
Let me. Here, wait a minute, real quick. It might
Oh.
miss now. Let me update it.
Now.
It might miss now. The leather. I'm gonna leave these things in my inventory because I also think Petite is planning on selling a great amount of things. STUD. Studded leather, basic, I assume.
Yeah.
Leather. Oh yeah, you know it. 15 AC. It went up by 1.
Whoa!
And he gets ready for the attack.
And he just gung, right across the head, and you hear.
Get it?
Woo, 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 right.
I'm not even. It's not just gonna be able to hear it. It jerks him by the horn. Striking the head still hurts Batiste like a headshot.
Yeah. Gung.
All right.
And he's gonna do. I have to roll the damage now. He's gonna do unlethal damage.
Non-lethal.
Non-lethal, I mean non-lethal.
Non-lethal. His modifier is able to kill Batiste.
And he's gonna go lightly, so I'm gonna have the damage die. Which he rolled high. He rolled very high. So that's 14 plus 10. It's 20.
How much?
14 plus 10, so 24 damage. Just boom.
Okay. Let me subtract that real quick. 24 damage. You see that the head swing, and then you hear something in the chest of it crack, but it doesn't. But it does not sound like it was mechanical.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
You like he guesses that it was probably Patise's neck popping.
I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. Yeah, whatever you see, you just see as you topple over.
As soon as he begins to topple, and then he steps, trying to hide that move.
Wonderful.
And as Alistair moves in, because I assumed he would be more worried.
Yeah, he is. He's like he's
takes a
dropped his quarterstaff and he's rushing towards you.
You say wax.
Gong.
He goes for a strike back.
Roll the hit. Holy
Oh.
crap!
What?
I didn't read this man's. You see?
Yeah, no, Patisse. Yeah, this isn't. Patisse has an 11 to hit.
11 to hit. That's
Yeah.
not hit. I'm sorry.
He goes like this. He goes like so. In his dazed confusion, he manages to think to take the step, and he spreads his leg out to catch himself, and then he swings, but he's seeing double, and just whacks out, and then takes a step forward and stumbles.
Well, he reaches inside and like touches some part of you, and he
pops it the other way.
Yeah. But you feel like a nice warm like feeling on your neck as he casts healing word on you.
Thank you.
For 16 health back.
16.
Yeah. Oh.
Heal.
Oh,
That's a lot for healing word.
Yeah.
Holy heck. Thank you.
I'm afraid that's. Do you want me to do it again? You want me to do it again? Not the hitting, not the hitting. The healing part. I'll do it again.
Thank you.
Okay, same amount. So
16?
Yeah.
14? 16?
16.
16. 1, 6. That's a 5. 6. Heal. He is at full health now.
Okay.
But because of how long the wounds on his knuckles were, they're as I described them earlier.
Okay.
Wow. He just he leans on the staff a little bit and thinks.
So maybe what? Okay, hitting on the head still feels pretty bad. I mean, does it feel as bad as actually getting hit on the head, or worse?
I think uniquely, my circumstance comes down to it translates about equally because the all of the pressure gets translated through my horns.
Yes.
I'm not afraid that the horns are going to snap off because they're so close to the base of my skull that they are a part of it, pretty much.
Yeah.
So I'm not afraid of my skull snapping off. I need to open a vent.
Okay.
All of like the physical stuff is like actually is actually hotter than I expected. It's more physical activity than I thought I'd be doing it.
Yeah.
3.
3? Oh, shucks.
It's fine. I'm excited. I love this session so
Okay,
much.
good.
This is what I was so hyped for.
Yeah. All
Stuff like this.
Good. You okay though?
It's a jerk, but it's about as much as I think I would feel getting hit in the head by a true servant of the Unanor with a quarterstaff.
Well,
If not more, since I've never fought something as powerful as you, and thought I would live.
Well, I mean, I didn't go that hard. I'm kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, if you're okay, I want to see how well this passes in public. Do you want to go up to the library and just walk around?
We could finally return that book.
Exactly.
Alright.
So he
And,
cares.
I assume that-
you.
The full backpack and everything's been rigged
Yeah.
fully. He
Yeah.
like goes up, kind of backs up to a table, kind of shakily still, and then just tries pulling the like parachute kind of style release.
Yeah.
Lets it flop onto the table.
That works perfectly.
You can't go wrong with one of those things.
That's very true. Okay.
All right, let's go. And he grabs. Do you want a hand?
Yeah.
And he uses his right hand, the more dexterous one.
Yeah. And he,
By the way, just out of curiosity, because this is a mage hand, if
Yeah.
it goes over 10 pounds, does the hand stop functioning for a time?
That is a good question, actually. Huh. I would say it functions just like how your hand would, so as your strength modifier would be applied to this as well.
Oh, perfect. So
Yeah.
it's actually weaker than a mage hand.
Wonderful! Okay, so he grabs your hand and he guides you up a long flight of stairs that seem like an eternity. And
Yeah, like, after the first few steps, you just see Komonaki's head start looking up. And he keeps going, but
wow.
he recognizes that stairs, he just found his new most hated enemy.
No, there's this scene in Kung Fu Panda where he's like, my old enemy, stairs.
There's gonna be some intense moments where the party gets to like stairs or the base of a cliff, and Komonaki is just gonna take this really serious stance, and he's gonna have a hand behind his back and look up.
Stairs.
Kill me.
So as he walks you up the stairs, he's like, so I'm no longer going to call you Batiste, right?
I think that's the plan.
Do you have
Since I'm
new names?
dead. Well, I recently spoke with a friend, the only one who's still alive, and we were talking about how I've changed my name before. I assume, because he took off his wraps. I assume you saw the Korth on the other arm. This one.
Petite, of course, is not my first name. I assume you know what it translates to.
I do.
I was thinking, especially after losing them, they're Komanaki.
Clanless, right?
Yeah, I
Right.
think it translates fairly well to my predicament.
Well, I mean, you've got me.
That I do. And thank you.
Oh, this has been fun.
This has been one of the best experiences I've had in... This has been the best experience I've had.
On one of your
And a part of that
days.
involved my horns getting sawed off, so you can tell I've not got a very high bar.
You eventually reach the top. And as you open the door, everybody just looks. Because it's probably one of the loudest sounds.
And these are two different things, right? Because I talked about in the notes, the mask is iron and the
Yeah.
arms are like bronze.
Yeah,
So it's this mismatched thing.
yeah.
And Alistair's got his arm up on
Dressed in Golden Spire uniform, too.
What is the Golden Spire uniform?
Okay, I'll get it to you right now.
I imagine there's gold on it.
Yeah.
But, oh, how has the voice cadence been in relation to Petite?
Good, actually.
Especially towards the end, Petite kind of slowed down a bit. Because... sad times.
Yeah. Almost like this. This is like the closest I could get
Yeah.
with a reference image. Like, it's similar to that.
Gotcha.
Um,
Golden Spire cloak, I assume, is like white with gold trim.
yeah.
Hmm.
I'm trying to find another good image. But it's all just a bunch of not necessarily the greatest things ever. Ah, that's not a good one to send.
So, I think I picked the things that I want left inside the EXO.
Okay.
Oh, look at this, of course. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's like oranges and
Yeah.
yellows too.
Uh-huh.
Cool.
So, and everybody just don't. Where? How do I say this? Don't worry, everything is okay.
Petite holds in a chuckle.
As he just guides you out and into the middle of the library. All right,
Say
go crazy.
say that again.
All right, go crazy.
Okay. He just starts walking. Like, because a lot of his emotion now is going to come through body language, especially in this, like, first start. He takes a few steps. He seems to hunch over. And then it clicks in his head again. Wait a minute. He stands up. I'm not me anymore.
Yeah.
Then he starts walking.
You
walks
just
over
have
to a-
eyes trailing you.
It's a little awkward at first. Then he's more confident in it. Because nobody knows.
Right.
And then through that confidence, he picks up speed. He gets to an average gait. And looks for the automata section.
Which would be at ground level. Yeah.
Just looks around. It's very much like he has thoughts, a million thoughts running through his head, and voices, which I have not had playing. Oh well.
That's fine. That's fine. Alistair walks over to you and says, "This is you now."
This is me now. He lifts up a hand and looks at it. And looks up the other one. Wait, no. Middle ones don't do that. I think I'm okay with this.
You look brilliant.
I hope so. Most of this is of your creation.
Yes.
Um,
Would you like to walk outside?
you see the arms go up really fast and then slow down, and they've like gone past the head and then they slow down. Places his hands on his head. Feels like the back of the. I assume it's like not a full mask. It's like wireframe towards the back.
Yeah, yeah.
Feels like the holes in it, and is like. Let's do it.
He puts your hood up, just whoop, and then,
Yeah.
but not like it. He tucks it under, so it's like your face is fully showing, or the mask is fully showing, but the hood just covers the back.
That's exactly what I envisioned in my head.
Yeah. So he kind of opens the grand doors. He's like, now there's a lot of steps down.
He looks down. Gods have truly forsaken Calantham. And he realizes who he said it to, and he tries to pivot, and it's a little uneasy, so he pivots a little slower. Raises his hands up. I'm joking. I've had to think of that a lot lately. And he slowly pivots back and starts making his way down the stairs. Going down's a lot easier.
You're doing wonderful.
So I'm an automaton now.
You are. How do you feel about that?
Good.
Well,
I
that's
think
good.
better than good. I'm free. In a strange sense of the word.
No more beast cards.
That's true.
You're completely free.
He takes a step back once he gets to the bottom of the stairs.
What's wrong?
And he bends down into a runner stance.
Oh,
and starts booking it.
You just see, if you ever look back, Arathim's just like, yeah!
Well, you see, he does look back, and he hits a stone on the uneven pavement.
Oh no!
And he hits it and slides. And it's metal too, so it's not as resistant. And he just slides down the still sort of damp street. Just lays there for a moment. And you see him slowly kind of get the hang of his new dimensions and stands up. Kind of bends his legs. Does a hop.
You kind of see his demeanor change very rapidly.
Yeah.
And he kind of looks back. And he says, I'm so sorry, but I have to... And he runs back up the stairs. And about halfway, he turns, looks down at you.
Yeah.
And you see him do this first, and then you see him jump up into the air and erupts this giant firebird as it just zooms straight up for about like 3,000 feet, and it just goes and flies northwest.
Northwest. Does it? I assume it like leaves the city almost immediately.
Yeah, it just goes like supersonic flight.
Komanaki took a few steps and then watches it just go over the distance.
The massive amount of wind that you just made just kind of...
Yeah, he starts blowing, and it takes him a second, but he catches himself for the first time.
And then flying straight overhead, another one just goes...
Did he circle the planet?
No. And then another one.
Oh, there's more than one.
All headed northwest.
Are they all coming from the library?
No, they're flying over the city. Just as fast. Like they're coming from away and then flying over the city, and you see far off into the distance, like far off, you see the outline of the mountain, as you see them circling the mountain. These are giant birds, so you can see them.
Yeah,
you can see
they're
them.
the size of an island.
So they start circling over the mountain, and all at once they just go right down.
Into the mouth of hell?
Into the mouth of hell. As they...
Oh, no.
They all just go down into there.
He took a few steps, and he jumped in joy.
Mm-hmm.
He was excited, because he thought it was Alistair freeing himself, too. Then he saw the mountain. His arms go low. He looks down and walks back into the library.
As you do realize that after a while, like he just forfeited his secret. So something has to be going down.
Yeah, I guess I didn't verbalize it.
Yeah.
But Petise understands what just happened.
Yeah.
That the gods are losing.
Yeah. And they finally called down the servants of the Unanor.
Mios is truly on the back foot.
Yeah.
If she went as far as to call servants of the Unanor.
Yeah. So that just kind of hits you and just like.
Yeah, that's why he did the whole look down thing as he's walking back inside. But it's all hidden now.
Yeah.
There's no more expressions.
People come out of their houses, look around like, what the heck just happened?
See, he doesn't keep looking. He knows.
Yeah.
He knows.
Yeah.
And he enters the library. And he goes back through that door. You going to sit down now? Or is that going up? I can't tell. Oh, you're going at the same rate.
Yeah.
Joke's on you, Hecker. I can knees. Oh, I need.
Okay.
I need.
Kneed.
To sit on my knees. There we go.
So it just.
He reopens the door to the workshop and works his way down the spiral stairs. He gets into the shop.
Mm-hmm.
And He starts to erase the board. He transfers all of his remaining junk, and he grabs the chapter 1 of the Warforged manual, and he takes that. Is there a case like I was looking for?
A case like what?
Sort of a wooden box with a glass pane on it. And
Yes. Yeah, there's somewhere in there. Yeah.
he takes that and he takes some wire and he ties it to the inside of the chest. Wires it inside the chest. Of course, he opens the door at the back of it, and places that inside. Just gets everything ready. Transfers everything to the new backpack, and he looks back at the shop and makes sure that he erased any evidence that he or Alistair had been doing anything down there for the past couple hours. Komanaki was not made here. Petise did not die here. Neither of them were there at all.
Roll a performance. I don't know if that fit.
Investigation, maybe?
Sure.
Because it's an investigation in reverse.
Yeah.
This is my blue die, and I am not going to use that one. I'm going to pull out the old one. Here we go. I'm going to use psionics on this too. Well, there's news. I rolled a 10.
Okay.
Plus 3 on investigation, plus 1 on psionic.
14?
Is a 14. But psionic goes up.
Okay.
To a D8. 14 reverse investigation. And within that box that he put his cloak in, he also adds the chapter 1 of the Warforged. Because the reality sets in that if the gods lasted that long, but he doesn't think Alistair is going to live. And he also adds the Petise protocols within that container.
Okay.
Walks back up the flight of stairs. Returns the book. And finds a back alleyway. And all of his old clothes he sets on fire.
Okay.
Do we wait a day? Is this the end of the session? Because there's still more things to do, right?
There is a little more things to do, yeah.
Yeah. Astra Verdan, I assume.
Yeah.
Then he finds an inn about... You have the whole of Acclivis. Say it's a circle. If you divide that circle into thirds, it's the last day of the year. Oh, okay. He moves about. He searches for a tavern about 1/3 clockwise.
Okay.
In Clivis. He doesn't want to go the opposite side, and he doesn't want to undershoot it. But he is leaving. Jillian? Not Jillian. That's Katie's character.
Astra Verdan?
Not Astra Verdan. Incinia's mom.
Josephine.
Josephine. Yeah. He's making sure he's not seen there.
Okay. I suppose roll stealth, but I feel like that doesn't even matter.
Stealth. I mean, Petise died.
Yeah, it's true. So she wouldn't even. Ah, okay. We'll just say that you move around.
Move what?
Move. Or I don't even know.
No. I'm not moving her.
No. I know. I was gonna say move around the.
Oh.
The.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So. You rest at a place called Dragon's Breath. I suppose we can just hand wave that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Unless you want to do something there.
He does. He just gets a little practiced at entering and exiting, and being able to just move things in through the trapdoor in the back. He also folds up the spire clothes and replaces them with just a new set of commoner clothes.
Okay.
While it's an honor to wear them, that's a lot of attention, and it's also a finger that points towards the origin of Thirkomanaki.
Yeah.
So I assume that's the spire clothes are fancy clothes.
Yeah. Yeah.
How do you spell clothes? C-L-O-T. Okay. I'm not crazy.
I get those moments. It's okay.
Yeah. Fine for them, and then common. He's going for ragged.
Okay.
Trying to not draw attention, while being what he is, which draws attention naturally. There's a lot of items that I'm planning on selling.
You can always go back to Yenna's mythical magical emporium.
Can we take a break and let me pee and do other things?
Yes.
And then come back and do that?
Yes.
Because I do want to do that, the amulets, and Astravinan.
Yeah. That shouldn't take that long.
Not super long.
Yeah, but go pee.
You want to come with? I'm not even going to joke about that. I'm muting myself, and look, right? I plugged this thing in, right? Here. Hello.
Hi.
It also occurs to me that there is another thing I'm trying to get my hands on.
What's that?
Yeah, spider silk spool.
Right.
So yeah. I'll take a trip to Yenner's.
Okay.
Um,
Okay. So, you wake up to a new day. I'm turning down this freaking ambience.
Hmm.
Okay, there we go. You wake up to a new day. More sun. But a noticeable... drop in, like, everything?
hmm.
For you in particular, I'm trying to think of a better word than drop. I mean, like, you had a high with oh, Jesus. You had a high with Alistair. But it sort of brought you back to the reality that you're now alone.
Yeah.
After he left. And your friends are either dead or gone. Instead, it returns you back to reality after sort of the... Yeah.
He gets back into the EXO.
Mm-hmm.
Slides the bolts in. Ties them on. Gets the whole setup together. Yeah. Mask on. Flicks down the sunshade. And takes a second. And walks down. Purchases food. Brings it back up.
Mm-hmm.
Eats it, but doesn't leave the EXO this time. Trying to get more comfortable with it. Then he, once he's done, he leaves all the dishware, the room fairly neat. Do I need to give you an amount of gold to just rent this room for, like,
Yeah.
I don't know,
Just
5
say
days?
5 days? I say
Yeah.
say 3 gold.
3 gold. All right. He says not a haggler. I also imagine it's kind of tough when you don't have a face.
Yeah.
He makes his way back towards Yena's.
Mm-hmm. Same.
Yeah. It's in character. Just a lot deeper than my boys.
There you go.
He walks up to Yena's and looks at the sign in the door. He hesitates for a second and then presses forward. It's a brief thought of, what if she sees me? And then it's like, of course she's going to see you, but you're not you.
Right.
And it flickers through his head. He has a lot of those moments.
Yeah.
He's still getting comfortable with it. He's still unbalanced, not well balanced. But yeah.
Ding, ding, ding. You enter into the shop. I'll be with you in just a moment, darling. I'll be there in a second. And she kind of rushes out.
He walks with a quarterstaff too.
Oh, can I help you
Yeah.
today? What would you like?
I'm looking to sell a few past things. I have some rare trinkets, I believe, but I'm also looking for a few magic items. I believe you have them here.
Her dancing lights flicker a little bit. What are you looking for?
Oh. Well, I am an adventurer, and I'm just looking for a few specific things. One would be a amulet of proof against detection and location. I also have need of a parapet of. Oh gosh, it's Periapt of Heart.
Yeah,
right?
Periapt of Heart.
A Periapt of Heart. I could trade a few things, and I also have gold, of course. I also have a few magic items I could part with.
Well, the amulet of proof against detection and location will go for about 50 gold.
Okay.
There's been a lot of them in demand of recent. And the Periapt of Health, Periapt of Health. I'm afraid we're sold out.
That's fine. Is there anyone else that might have them, or someone who might be willing to do a trade?
Well, we were the only carrier in the city, and then we were actually just bought out by actually a really big seller. Sorry, a really big buyer, a noble. He goes by Rector.
Director. Let me write that down. It feels so weird talking to her as the same character, but not. Because Petite had a history with them.
Yeah.
Freya
Willowwalker.
Yeah. Richter, right?
Richter, yeah. I need to now make a NPC list, you nerd. Okay. Sorry, I'm just writing stuff for my to-do list on the world dot. Okay. Now, I know he lives in city, and he had a lot of potential prospects in terms of people wanting to buy them, and so did I, so it might draw a steep price, just to be aware of that.
Certainly. Does he seem apt to bargain with potentially other magical items?
I don't think he looks like that. I'm not so sure if he's that kind of man. He was very entrepreneurial, if you get my drift.
I think so. By any means, she wanted 50 gold?
Mm-hmm.
And her 30 gold and 2 platinum.
Okay, cool. And she hands you over the Periapt. No, sorry, the amulet against location proof. The amulet of proof against location and detection.
Yeah, takes that. He hasn't put it on yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I guess drapes it around the hood and he just puts it together and places it in a pocket. Yeah. Well, thank you.
You're welcome, darling.
Do you ever get those back in stock? Or how often?
We should be getting a shipment, Hey! When are we getting the shipment of Periapt of her? Help! In like a week! A week. 8 days.
Okay, thank you. If I can't procure one, I will certainly come to you as soon as possible.
Wonderful.
Thank you. He almost exits, and then he remembers. Looking if I have them. Actually, Do you have a mortar and pestle, some glass objects, and a porous bag?
Those were a lot of oddly specific items, but yeah, we should. Oh, and spider silk. Spool.
I have the spider silk. I'm looking to get it turned into an item, I guess.
Oh, okay.
But thank you for the reminder.
Yeah.
Oh, and I don't know if you could do enchanting here, but I have an item request, I believe.
Oh yes, we do. We do enchantments. Yes.
That's perfect. He pulls out a little spool of spider silk.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking to get a sort of a dual enchantment on this, to make it pool infinite spider silk, but also have one end work as a normal thread and one to act as a sort of a thinner yet sticky web, if that's possible.
Yes, it should be. It should be. Yeah. I estimate we have a high load, so a day.
Okay, that's perfect.
Perfect. And then the mortar and hey! We need... Oh, what was that again? Sorry. A porous bag, mortar and pestle, and what else?
Just some assorted glass.
That was-
If you have just broken bits, those work too.
And glass! Broken! And you hear...
I love this shop because they have this like air of like well good presentation, but in like the back,
Yeah.
it's like a sweatshop where they're just yelling at each other. It's like, yeah, we have that, doesn't have it, makes it.
And then an elf rushes out and then hands it to her.
Thank you.
Yes. Yes.
How much is it for the?
That should part you for 1 gold.
All right. He hands it over, and how much for the enchantment?
Ah, that's also should be 1 gold.
Okay, thank you.
Have I? No, that's silly. Never mind.
He does. I'm too low now. He just does like. Huh? He doesn't know what to say. He's trying to act as if it's. I don't know. He just doesn't understand the predicament or whatever it might be.
I mean, have I? Sorry if this is overstepping a little bit, but have I met you before?
I'm fairly uncertain. No, I'm new here.
Oh, okay, wonderful. That's fine. Sorry, that was kind of an odd question. I didn't.
I don't get that often, so thank you. I love this city.
Good. Where are you staying?
Frick, I forgot. I gotta write that down.
The Dragon Breath's Inn.
The Dragon's Breath.
Oh, my cousin stayed there for a month, I think. It's a good inn. Very
Yeah.
pricey, though.
That's true. I figured I'd stay at a nice place for the first few nights, and if I end up settling here for longer, I'll look for cheaper room and board.
Good idea.
Thank you.
Well, I wish you good luck on your way and your stay. Thank you for stopping by Yenna's Mythical Magical Emporium. We'll welcome your business any day.
Thank you. He exits. I need to add that custom item.
Okay.
What do I even call this? I'm just gonna call it.
glass bag.
I'm just gonna call it breath glass supplies.
Okay.
Breathing. Glass particulate. Glass weapon supplies.
Glass particulate glass weapon.
Supplies. Perfect. Okay. That's in the inventory. Okay. I guess I'm looking to sell some stuff, but not at Yena's. Alright, well, I guess I'll figure I'll try and trade.
Okay.
I'll go find that,
Richter?
I'll go find Richter, yeah. Heckin' Richter.
Haken Richter.
What's up?
His name, well, roll me a history.
Watch this be my first high roll. No modifier, by the
Okay.
way. 18.
Nice.
This was the first high roll.
You recognize the name to be probably the wealthiest man in town.
Of course.
He's a human. He's probably around 90. So he's getting up there.
Mm-hmm.
And he lives in probably the most flamboyant and biggest house on the city, next to the castle. Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
He thinks it over. He rolls inside the head. It rolls his eyes inside the head. Might as well try. And,
You make your way over. And
yeah.
and knock on the very big doors.
Yeah. Petite is taller now. It's still tall.
Yeah. A servant opens them. Can I help you?
Possibly. I was looking to purchase a periapt of heart.
The prices are 500 gold or something of equal worth.
Who were? It's a what rarity of item?
Think it is a.
Uncommon?
I think it was.
It's uncommon. Common?
I think it was an uncommon. Periapt of health. In immune, it's an uncommon. Wondrous item, uncommon.
Alright.
Yeah.
Well. Oh, I don't want to part with these, but it makes sense. He pulls out the boots of Elvenkind.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wear them anymore.
Yeah, it's true.
Uh,
Oh, these were Insignias!
they were. They were?
Yeah. Insignia gave them to you.
Correct. He, like, thinks about it as he reaches. Then he grabs his, bag of tricks.
Okay.
I'm still gonna de-equip those, because I can't use them.
Yeah, yeah.
And he pulls out a bag of tricks. The one with 7 charges. I figure we're getting into the levels where this is barely useful.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
But equal value-ish.
Yeah.
I have, this, and if you need me to explain it, I can.
Please do.
He points at the fuzzy
Fuzzy balls.
things. Yeah, the fuzzy balls in there, and, the fuzzy balls.
I'm such
so
a
you-
toddler. Oh my gosh.
You, remove one of these from the bag, and you toss it to the ground, and a beast of, some sort, what bag? This was a gray bag.
Yeah.
Either a beast, a weasel, a giant rat, a badger, boar, a panther, a giant badger, a badger and a giant badger, a dire wolf, or a giant elk will come forth from it. Under the control, of course, of whoever has thrown such an item.
How about this in 50 gold, huh?
Do I have 50 gold? I have 50 gold. He reaches into a back pouch and just takes 5 platinum and drops them into the
Okay.
bag of tricks. I'm getting that right? 5
Yeah.
plats. Okay.
Yes.
And he holds on to it though
Mm-hmm.
before removing it. I want to see the periop.
Of course. And he reaches behind the door and he pulls out.
Bro, they caught him right there.
Yeah.
I could have snuck in and stole it.
and he hands it over to you.
And yeah, do the whole like hands on and then
Yeah.
let go. Yeah. I'll remove my. Man, I've had this bag of tricks forever and never really cared. I was like, hey, I could use that sometime. And then it was always just more effective to stab someone between the eye.
Yeah.
So you know, potato stabbo.
Potato stabbo. Okay.
You know, I forgot that those boots were Insignia's.
Yeah.
I have a plan now.
Okay.
Remembering Insignia's boots and that Thavo has a stone that connects him to a storyteller. Yeah. He pulls out the ascending stone and lifts it up to his mouth and talks into it. Yeah. Thavo Battleforge passed honorably. I would like to return this to whom it may concern. Where are you and how could I bring it to you?
Two. Instead of two.
That
works.
good enough.
Yeah, I forgot the name of this NPC! Frick. I don't think I ever wrote it down either.
Was he this wild?
Yes, he was.
Dang, okay. Thavo put with some heck.
Poor Thavo. I guess you'll never see his brother again. Frick. What's that?
While you look up that name, I have another thing I need to go look up.
Okay.
In Calanthum, I believe.
I'm actually not on Stateria anymore, so I don't really know why you have this, but just discard it, please.
He looks at the stone, curses that he couldn't trade it. Gosh, gosh. That is actually Draconic Curse. Wait. No. Yes. That works better in this case.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna tell you what those mean,
Oh, darn.
but I am cussing.
Okay.
Well, yes. He just holds on to it. He just puts it back in the pack, like,
Yeah.
it doesn't weigh that much. I'm gonna add another sending stone,
Okay.
because I have 2 now.
2 sanding stones.
4 sending stones. Yes.
2 sanding stones.
Gigalda, go kill yourself if you wouldn't mind.
If you would.
By the way, when Thurkomanaki, I have thought up an entire scene
Oh boy.
for Petise killing Gagalder,
Oh boy.
and I have mauled it over in my head
Amazing.
for 2 days,
I love it.
and I like it, and I'm just gonna. I wanna give you a little snippet.
Okay.
Let's make a deal, Gagalder.
That's all I'm gonna give you. Those are gonna be his final words to Gigal. Part of his final words to Gigalder.
Mm-hmm.
If we get to slaughter him
Ew.
like the animal he is.
I cannot wait for that day. Just,
I really bad I get physically like enraged at the thought of his light. I'm still stand by I like the character.
yeah.
Right? But I love Patisse so much that taking that vengeance I can feel the good chemicals throughout my body every time I think about how I plan on ending him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Though I do realize it may not be Thurkomanaki that ends him. It could be another member of the party. But if they leave him alive, the horrors that are to befall his final moments,
Yeah.
and what they will witness will be horrifying, especially if they don't know Patisse is inside of Thurkomanaki.
Oh boy.
If they don't know, oh boy. I'm gonna have to also get used to saying Thurkomanaki. So that way I don't reveal things. Yes. Very apt of health. And he's just got both of them like in his pockets.
And his pockets.
His pockets.
What have I got in my pockets?
My precious.
Okay.
My precious.
Perfect.
What he has in his pockets?
What? His pockets.
What he has in his pockets? The packages pockets. Pockets.
Also inside the XO in Patisse's pocket, or tied around a piece of rope, as the third thing he wears on his neck. He's tied up the mermaid sending stone.
Oh, okay.
Because that's something he really... All the things he is very protective of, he keeps inside the XO. Anything he's willing to lose stays outside.
Right.
I have one more thing I need to get done before Astra Verdan. I need to go get a plaque of wood.
Okay.
And he brandishes his woodcarver tools. And he carves a sign. And on it reads, "These belong to great warriors. If you wish to take up the mantle, if you wish to take up their mantle, take these and do good." He carves that into the plaque. Then he goes back out to where Thavo's hammer is buried. And he adds the boots next to the hammer. And he places the sign. Takes a moment to reminisce. Sets his hand on top of the hammer.
You finally do
Returns
that
back.
now.
Yeah. And then he works his way back.
Okay.
How am I encumbered? I need to remove my last leather armor. My old leather armor.
That would be important.
Yeah. Can we hand wave me selling that?
Yes.
Name a price, I'll accept it. It's worth 10 gold.
Oh, just 10 gold then.
I figure resell is... I mean, that's what you purchase it for.
7.
Resell half. 7? Perfect.
Yeah.
Remove. Some gold. Add. That is added. You want to work down the list? If there's anything that still weighs?
Yeah.
I'm at 38 pounds. I need to drop 8 pounds. Gosh, why does a backpack weigh 5 pounds? Well, the clothes altogether totals 9 pounds, which makes no sense. I just cut that down a bit, or do we have to get deep into the
into the backpack.
No, I mean I've scrolled all the way down. I can drop 4 pounds of rations.
Yeah, that'll be worth it. Dropping that.
Which is like 2 days.
Yeah.
Drop those. I'm not even gonna ask for gold for this stuff that I'm dropping.
Yeah.
The quarterstaff adds 4 pounds if that got dropped, but that's my new weapon.
Yeah.
I could sell the +1 dagger.
It's true.
How much do you think I could get out of that?
Like 25 gold. No, like 100 gold.
Okay. I'm just gonna accept that and remove it.
Okay.
That's 10 plat.
Yeah.
Oh, I can remove the boots of Elvenkind.
Yeah.
No. I already got rid of Thebo's Maul. Honestly, might just have to do weight training at some point in the EXO.
Yeah.
Weighted EXO!
Weighted EXO.
Okay. He'll return the, Yeah, he'll return the, What are they called? The clothes of the Golden Spire.
Just golden spire garb.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he'll keep, like... I don't know, what's something that's
Sash?
small yet... Yeah, like a sash.
Okay.
Something that doesn't weigh a lot. And I'll, add a custom item. Golden Spire sash. He'll fold that up and
Okay.
pack that into the box.
Okay.
And finally, S-A-S-H sash? Good enough.
Yeah.
And that's enough. Finally.
Okay, cool.
We're actually underweight, so that's
Good.
good. No encumbrance. And he will, make his way to... She has an office, right? Astra Berdan, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's at the castle.
It's at the castle.
Yeah.
Well, he's not him anymore.
That's true.
His disguise is complete.
So...
But looking at the castle is just daunting.
Yeah.
He looks up at it. He takes a second. And he feels himself almost leaning towards running away. And then he uses Mind Dampen.
Okay.
He's already used that. He used that yesterday. Not today.
Yeah, yesterday.
7 minutes. That's
Okay.
enough to get him inside the castle.
This is, yeah.
At which point he will not be allowed to leave.
Yeah.
He's baked his potato.
So...
You can't unbake your potatoes, Jamie.
You can't. Reverse entry.
So he will turn off he'll turn off fear He's also going to turn off sadness and the voices.
Okay.
Because right now he needs to think things over a little clearly.
Right.
And everything still bears a lot of weight on him.
So you walk past the guards. You have an escort of guard that walk with you, and you're taken instead of to the throne room. You're taken up to an offshoot branch of just a bunch of offices, and you eventually get to one labeled Astra Verdan.
Right.
Opened it, and she opens it, and she's kind of. I swear you see her nod off a little bit. but once the door opens, she's like, yes.
I am here to sign up for the Raven's Legion, and he's gonna connect a mind link.
Okay.
That's a 6 to
Okay.
just her.
Alright.
Lets the others fade.
You know, you could have. Oh.
And through his head, through her head, it's the other one, the one who's gone. And out inside his voice, yes, I heard, but I've heard you're the one to go to, the general of this operation.
Yes. Please come in and close the door.
Thank you. He turns around, still not perfect at it, but he's getting better. And are the guards like out there, or are they inside?
Yeah, they're out there.
Closes the door over the mind link. I'm not going to say anything out loud that would betray me, but you understand, I believe. And out loud he goes, so, I'm being recruited, I hope this means.
Yes. I'm going to have to give you a interview, if that's okay.
Oh, certainly. That's perfectly understandable.
Guess what she's gonna use?
So I go to, should I just go to the questions we wrote?
Yeah. I'm gonna skip in between them, well, state
Okay.
your name and race for the record.
I am Thurkomanaki,
Okay.
and my race is human.
Okay.
That's a horrible choice. I'm fine with it though. I'm living with it. He lives with it.
Now.
That was spur of the moment. Holy crap! I picked basic.
Now, where do you hail from, the Komanaki?
This is merely because I don't remember off the top of my head all the regions.
Which region do you hail from? You can just say like
Yeah.
Animus or something.
I was actually going to place him near Galathel.
Oh, Raucus. Okay.
Raucus. Raucus, near Galathel. Paratisi, of course.
Wow. Okay.
And I'm also going to note that he's going to start reading up a lot on Raucus and the region of Paratisi to seem as if he's from there.
Okay. What can you bring to the Raven Legion?
I am an adept, and he lifts his hand up, and you know the Assassin's Creed, hand flick? You see him do that, and the blade shoots up, and then he reorients it and flicks it, and it goes down again. I'm adept with close quarters combat and assassinations when necessary.
Ah, we need a lot of those. Perfect.
Over the mind link, he just goes, wow.
She just kind of laughs. Are you willing to give your life for the Raven Legion?
Of course. This is the superb fighting force. And over the mind link, I hate you people.
One last thing. How do you define victory?
Oh. Victory is, I think, best defined when all angles are accounted for. If a If an enemy cannot surprise you, an enemy cannot best you.
That's actually a really good answer.
Thank you.
Well,
I've had a lot of time to think of it.
well, do you have any questions for me?
I do not believe I caught your name,
Oh, my name's Astra Verdan.
Mr. Verdan, and he reaches a metal hand out, the dexterous one, to shake her hand. Pleasure to meet you.
And to you.
Is there a rank I should address you by?
General.
General Astra Verdan. General Verdan.
General
Got
Verdan.
you.
Yes. And over the mind link, she says, I presume Petite sent you?
Over the mind link?
Yeah.
Tise is dead. Do I have to make it clear?
No, I understand. Now, as I was saying before we ended
Looks
last.
back at like the door and then looks at her like, holy crap, like, have you ever done sabotage before?
So the last time we met, there we go.
Is this like mind link or in?
Yeah,
in
this is
person?
mind link. This is mind link.
Mind link. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought this was out
No.
out loud, and I was like, oh, okay. We're both getting hung from the castle walls by the ravens this time. Okay. Oh, cool.
She's like, I need you to command a team, and it has to be off the books. It has to be.
Well, Petite is off the books, so I guess it's perfect.
Do you know what a monolith is? And that immediately just sends, like, absolute, just...
He starts gripping the chair, like really hard. At the mouth of the river, correct?
The Nephethes, yes.
Nephethes. We saw some information detailed within Lord Ertham's notes. I believe I could locate it.
There are 5.
There's 5.
Laurelin has been chasing after them and trying to figure out where they are. I actually have something for you. And she, like, brings out a book and she places it on the table. And then...
The book. The 3-pound book! Guess who's encumbered again?
This is what she's written about it. And I'm gonna read it to you just for the recording to pick up.
Cool bean. Ah.
The 5 monoliths of Futha are dreaded to be the early signs of the end times. They are set to appear when Futha is prepared to take Calanthe for herself. It is foretold by various sources that they are the burial places of significant people to Futha. They are activated when approached and guarded by 5 of the most daring and threatening beasts known to all of Calanthe. They say that if a monolith is approached, the body of the being it represents will emerge and will speak to the foreign member and ask them 3 questions. The 3 questions about their life, a lesson they learned with 3 questions about their life, a lesson to be learned with each monolith. The foreign member will only have only has one try to, quote, elevate the monolith by getting all 3 questions right, and if they do, they'll be directed to the next monolith. If they fail, the monolith will be desecrated, and if the majority are desecrated, Futhan knows it's her time to come, and she'll take the earth with fire and flame. If the majority are elevated, she will know her time of reclamation is for another time, and Calantham will be spared from her wrath and ruin. So I found that in her office. I did a little sneaking around, I'm not gonna lie, okay? I did a little sneaking around, and this is what I found in her office. Do you know what this means?
The end times are near.
Yes? I can't do it. I have to stay here. My duties are here. If I go out to the Nephthys, she's gonna suspect something. But if there's something off the books, just like you guys, you can do something. You need to get a team. You need to get a team ready. I need you to do this, please. Off the books.
Absolutely. Lot has happened. Trust me, I understand the depth of this. I'll do my utmost to. I suppose you wish us to. There's activated and unactivated, I guess?
There's elevated and desecrated.
Elevated. I suppose you wish us to elevate these monoliths.
Yes. Please.
Well, let's go save Calantham.
Do you want to know who the first one is? Or the first the first one that the first monolith represents?
Not really, but yes.
Melbani.
Of course it does. His head jerks up for a second. He doesn't explain it, but to you, he has a thought on Lysander Roth.
Oh boy.
The only time he's heard Melbani be preached to anyone.
I'm really glad your head went
openly. They're all gonna correlate to the Sword Boys, you heck.
So
now I want to know. One's gonna be Vicindi. I'm guessing. Because of No Soul. One will be Zariel. Zariel. Because of Evelyn. I don't know who our 5th person is, so I couldn't make a judgment. Jeffro, I weirdly wouldn't know for myself. I would certainly love to ask someone, but just making guesses, you know. There seems to be significant figures tied to some individuals. You know, usually they're dead too, like, you know, Zariel and Melbani and frickin' Vicindi up in here.
Vicindi.
I figure if someone is dead and they're tied to Jeffro, it's the king. So we shall see if he lives or if he can be resurrected.
She says, "Are you willing to do this for me?"
I'm more than willing. I would have done this if I had discovered it on my own. This is horrifying.
Yes, it is.
The guard dogs of these monoliths, as detailed here, do they strike immediately or do they strike upon a desecration?
I think they just... I don't know.
That's why there's 5 villains.
No!
And that's why they have Thurai. specifically. Something unique about him.
What? No.
And that's also how you can make it more difficult each monolith we go to.
What?
Oop.
What are you talking
5 villains, 5 sword boys, 5 saviors of Calanthum. For this round, you know, just throwing it up there, right? This is saving the world from Futha, right? You know, Tiamat is kind of still digging her way out. Alistair's dead. That sucks. You know, Patisse just made a friend, and you've already killed him.
I didn't kill him.
Killed him again.
I didn't kill him again.
Yet.
Yet. I didn't kill him yet.
Can't wait though for his death scene. That's gonna be heartbreaking.
Oh no.
Let's see here. There's that, and then the Warforged wake up after they've been shaken awake by Tiamat.
Should I play Hall of the Mountain King?
And then after the Warforged break up, we have access to the technology to send us to the stars for Arc 4. And
should I play all of them? Stop it! Stop it right now! You're not allowed! You're not allowed!
The last
nope!
2 arcs that you detailed would be on other planets, and now we have the direction that Calantham's story is taking. Oh! Ow, my foot!
Oh, you okay?
Oh. Hold up, muscle. Weird toe positioning. Ouchie Fauci. That's it. Ladies and gentlemen, I've done it. Patisse knows the direction of Calanthum. He has seen glimpses of the future. Well, their bunny
So, you know you need to recruit a team. So I'll send any capable individuals that come my way to you, okay? Where can I reach you?
Why am I doing this voice? This was Lord Aratham. I don't even know why I would be speaking like this. I haven't talked like this in a great many days. Months, actually.
Wow.
Anyways. Do we want to be formal about it, or are you just going to send them to where I'm boarded?
I'll send them to you boarding to keep a low head.
No head.
So low head.
So low head. Patisse hits his head on the door. Topples over and it smashes. So low head.
So low head.
The bow staff snaps.
Oh no. So, would that be okay?
Certainly, it just feels a little awkward. Also, are they going to be briefed before reaching me, or do I have to break the news that they're not actually signing up to the Ravens? This is all over the Mind Link.
Yeah,
They've just been sitting here in silence
Yeah.
for like 15 minutes.
No, I say you keep the guys that this is all for the Ravens for if, you know. Okay? So, if one of them decides to be some funny boy, then they have nothing to worry about.
Understood.
Do you understand your task?
Locate the monolith at Nephethes. Outpace any present individuals seeking it. If there are individuals who have already sought the monolith, then outpace them. Make sure no monolith is desiccated. And gather a team of total 5 individuals is my guess. One per monolith.
I will say
And
this. Lauren left 2 days ago.
shush. That explains it.
Sorry, a day ago. Today. No, sorry. Ah,
Okay.
2 days ago. 2 days ago. 2 days ago. 2 days ago works. 2 days ago works. Two.
Because that's the day of the dungeon
Yes.
when they had the council meeting.
So I'm suspecting that they're already gone to the I'm suspecting that they've already gone to the Nephethes. They're already going to the Nephethes.
Do you think they plan on desecrating them?
That's what I
That
think.
has to be it.
That has to.
I don't. Did I tell her about the group? I'll tell her about the group now.
Okay.
I stepped through a portal into Laurelyn's office. They were all speaking with the Queen of Glass. There was Laurelyn, Thurai, Ronan, and an individual known as Gagalder.
And Harga, but you don't really know who that is.
Right, there was so it wasn't Ronan, it was Harga.
No, it was Laurelyn, Harga, Ronan, Gagalder, and Thurai. So 5.
Okay. And there was also a half. Oh gosh, not on Sunday. Vega. There was also a half Vega, half human thing. But it was 5 individuals. Not a group I think I would trust it with the hands of Calanthum and its fate.
Side quest. Figure out where their motives. Figure out their whole business, and if you can, screw with them hard.
You can't see the smile, but the vigor of the nod. I would like nothing more.
So, I'll leave you to it then, okay?
Certainly. He closes the book that she had opened. Thank you for detailing me that assignment. I will get to work immediately. And he says that out loud and stands up.
It's a pleasure having you in the Ravens. I know you'll do great things.
For Laurelyn, as he opens the door. and
Laurelyn. And then... Bye-bye.
he just cocks his head and doesn't wave back.
Okay. And you just walk out?
And I'll walk out, and I mean, I assume, like, he's like, I'm gonna be interviewing people where I sleep.
Yeah.
So he tries and just gets like a table and like a chair for one side and a chair for the other, and
Okay, yeah.
additional lighting, and I don't know, he tidies up the room because he doesn't know when they're gonna happen.
Okay.
And it will also mark the start of him sleeping inside the Exo and eating and living,
I guess
never to exit.
that's where we'll end the session, and we almost made it to 4 hours.
That doesn't surprise me.
No. I was like, yeah, it's gonna be like an hour, or like maybe 2. Maybe like 4.
Yeah. 4.
Well,
Next time, if you say an hour or 2, or if you give it like a initial time and a later time, I'm gonna assume the later time and then add.
and then add like an hour.
Either add 2 hours or multiply it by 2.
What the fuck?
Yeah, we'll be there for like 2-3 hours. All right, 6-hour session.
6. Yeah. Okay. How did you like the session?
It's everything I wanted and more.
Okay. Good. Good. Star and Wish.
Yeah, I'm taking a second to take it in. Cool. I finally see a direction for the plot to go.
Yay!
That's a star.
Uh-huh.
It kind of finally. I like this whole time I've been like looking at it, and I keep seeing the things you're doing, and I see us working for the crows. I'm like, that's cool. I'm confused
Yeah.
because I was like, we're gonna save Calanthum, but right now we're just rooting out a gang. Admittedly, they got some ties.
Yeah.
They killed half the party. So you know, not just a gang, but I don't know. It seemed like a very strange. How do we get from here to here?
Yeah.
And this makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I'm worried for Astroverdan.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if anyone is gonna screw up,
It's gonna be
I'm really concerned that she's just gonna. I'm just gonna come back. Our party is gonna return, and there's gonna be Laurelin with a large lever,
Yeah.
and a trap door, and it's Astroverdan on a hanging post.
Oh no.
Pulls it as soon as we walk through the gates. After some stupid monologue where I have enough time to throw a frickin' dagger, but I can't because we have to roll initiative.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That's what I'm concerned about returning to.
Mm-hmm. How'd you feel about Alistair this session?
It was cool that I got to bring up the Minakawa on the session were you gonna show that regardless of what I said?
Yeah.
Or was that generated because of...
No, that was gonna be regardless of what you said.
Okay, so it was cool to discover that and get to present it to Alistair before it was too late.
Yeah.
That was really nice. And also, finally Patisse getting to connect with Alistair on like a deeper level than them just both loving knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
That was nice. It also makes it more heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Drop in the bucket.
Yeah.
Stars. Something I think I maybe could have done better is making Patisse a little more solemn, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'll show it better maybe throughout the campaign. Right now I think it's like he's sad and he's in pain because of it.
Mm-hmm.
The party, of course, is what I'm talking about. But I think he's stages of grief, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right now, I think maybe it's denial and it's just not set in
Mm-hmm.
strongly. It's enough to let him do things, but he's not gotten to the point where he's. I'm gonna use Unis Honest for this. This is a real life example. It's a Markiplier. Talked about on Unis Honest. What happened with him after his dad had died.
Mm-hmm.
And he said he just kind of went on with life as usual. Until one day at work, he was just standing there with a hammer in his hand,
Mm-hmm.
looking at the work he had to do, and he just wasn't doing anything. And his boss told him, "Man, you got to go home." So I think there's probably going to be a moment like that for Sir Komanaki.
Yeah.
But that's not this moment. Also, I need to get a tarp. Rick, can we hand wave that?
Yeah.
He gets just a tarp and some string so he can have a tent that closes.
Okay. Yeah.
So that way he can eat. And I guess a wish, right?
Mm-hmm.
at some time in the future, not quickly, but when the timing feels right, I guess I'll leave that up to you. I want to see an interaction between Sylvie and Petise again. Between Sylvie and Thirkomanaki.
Okay.
Because I want to know. Because this is him taking action that he thinks is appropriate. I disagree. I think maybe you disagree. It doesn't. I want to know your perspective on it because I've been in my own head about this. What is the look of Petise? This going as far as to cut parts of himself off to hide.
I think it's really sad, but it would make. I mean, in its own twisted way, it makes sense for the character, especially after losing a lot of friends.
Yeah.
And
still never getting over any of it.
Yeah.
And that's what I was hoping for. Using that word twisted. Because it's not. I don't think it's right. No. I assume you don't think it's right.
No, it's not.
But it's what someone who doesn't know what to do besides run, but they can't run. They at least they feel too. He feels too deeply ingrained in it. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd love to see an interaction, not just between, like, even if it's private, sheltered away from the party. Her actually seeing, like, the exo,
right.
And Petise being wired to the inside of it. You know, just that reaction.
Yeah.
And whatever comes of it.
You'll make your way up there.
Yeah. But that's the wish.
Okay.
My other wish is for you to keep being an awesome DM.
Woo!
And to get a good night's of sleep, because I need one.
Yes. Same.
I need to be there for the session tomorrow, right?
Yep. That is when. Oh, I'm already in the server. This is how tired I am. Session times. That is Monday at 8 York time. Where'd he go? Hello?
Thank you. Hello. So, today, in a few hours.
Yeah, at 8 p.m.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. And then Tori is Tuesday, Katie's Tuesday, and then Brian's finally at Wednesday.
Cool. I'm just gonna sort things out in docs.
Okay, I'm gonna stop the recording.